Welcome to Infinite Novel. Dive into epic alternate realities. All rights to original creators.
Chapter 186 Chapter 186 Charlotte Linlin still attaches great importance to Katakuri's opinion. After all, in this family, Charlotte Linlin no Katakuri is the strongest of her children. Mom. Actually, if the Straw Hat Pirates just want to copy the content of the 3 poneglyphs, it's okay to give them. Besides, Straw Hat Luffy also mentioned that he is not only willing to pay 100 million belly, but also he will share the content of these 3 poneglyphs with us, which can be said to be full of sincerity. Seeing that Charlotte Linlin was still hesitating, Katakuri continued to explain. He is the smartest of the entire Charlotte family, and a hero in the eyes of all younger brothers and sisters. His status in the eyes of his family brothers and sisters is even higher than that of his elder brother Perospero. To be able to have such a lofty popularity in the family is not only due to Katakuri's strength, but more importantly, he can think calmly. Taking the matter in front of him as an example, Katakuri would not think that agreeing to the conditions of the Straw Hat Pirates is to give in to the Straw Hat Pirates. On the contrary, he thinks that the Straw Hat Pirates also gave enough face to Charlotte Linlin already. If they don't appreciate it, then the consequences may be wars. When the time comes, brothers and sisters, he don't know how many people will die. Charlotte Bruley also immediately echoed, yes, Mom. The Straw Hat Luffy is very sensible, and he speaks nicely, and the conditions he offered are really sincere. After thinking for a while, Charlotte Linlin dialed the Den Mushi again, and said, Straw Hat Boy, I agree to your conditions. Your style of doing things really it's different from the 4 Emperor. Since you're so sincere, I can't let others say I'm stingy. We will hold a banquet at Cake Island tonight, and I will entertain you with the highest standard tea session. After all, it is 4 Emperors. Charlotte Linlin still cares fame, especially with a force like the Straw Hat Pirates. If she can make friends, it's better than turning against each other. Monkey D, Luffy, hey. The treatment they receive over there is completely different from that of us here. Kid Eustace, haha. This world will always bow to strength. Capone Big, when your strength is strong enough to make the 4 Emperors afraid, even the unreasonable 4 Emperors will be reasonable in front of you. Jun, it's a very real scene. I don't doubt the rationality of the situation in the Red Border video at all. Ha. Big Mom, it's great to hear you say that. Received a reply from Charlotte Linlin. Luffy is in a good mood. This result is good for both parties. Miss Luffy, I will let my ship lead the way. Your ship can reach Whole Cake Island as long as you follow my ship. As for me, I will explain to you the scenery along the way, as well as the characteristics of our various islands. Charlotte Montdior respectfully bowed to Luffy. Then I'll trouble you. Luffy nodded with a smile. Thousand Sunny, along with Montdior's ship, headed towards Whole Cake Island in the special current in the sea area of Toto Land. Charlotte Montdior can be said to be very good at doing things, and he also stopped at 2 islands along the way, so that the Straw Hat Pirates and the group can experience the island. Luffy notices that there are many chess soldiers on every island. Could this be created by the ability of a devil fruit? Nami pointed at a chess soldier standing guard, and frowned in confusion. Following Nami's gaze, Montdior immediately introduced, Dear Your Excellency Nami, that is a chess soldier. It is Mother who endowed chess with a soul through the ability of the soul fruit, so that they can have life. There's life is given by Mother, so these chess soldiers are very loyal to Mother. So this is Red lips pursed slightly. Nami nodded suddenly. Soul fruit is really practical, so Big Mom maintained the entire island's safety. This is really very convenient. Do the people living here have to pay protection fees or something? Luffy asked curiously while looking around. The island where they are now is not island. Luffy found that apart from the unique shape and unique building materials, the life of the people on the island is no different from that of other islands in the sea. To put it bluntly, there are so many islands here, each island is equivalent to a city, and the cities are governed by the cotters of the Charlotte family, but at the same time they have to accept the order of Charlotte Linlin. Protection fees? Hearing this, Montdior was stunned for a moment, then laughed. No. In our island, people who live here don't need to pay any money, but every 6 months all residents on the island have to hand in a month of lifespan to Mother Sengoku. See? This is the situation under the pirate rule. Every 1 month's life is handed over. Seeing this scene on the screen suddenly, Sengoku was overjoyed, and quickly took the opportunity slam the pirate. Charlotte Linlin, Sengoku old dog, don't you know how to count? It must be no problem for a normal person give a little of their life. Kong, hee. So you are a blood-sucking woman sucking the lifespan of all the civilians in the Toto Land Sea area, right? Charlotte Linlin, so what? I am pirate, I can do what I want to do, at least I don't pretend like you. Kong, hee. She just admit it. Sengoku, people all over the world are watching. I don't know what those people who advocate 4 Emperors are thinking. Open your eyes now and see how terrible life is for civilians under the pirate rule. Edward Newgate, Gururera Law. If how do you world government and marine have the face to say such a thing? Gold Roger, ha. They don't have any shame. Shiki, G ha. Life. Hearing that the civilians here need to turn in their lifespans, Nami's eyes widened suddenly, and there was a coldness in her eyes. Several other people also had bad expressions on their faces. As for the emotional changes of everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates, Montdior of course noticed it immediately, and he quickly explained with a smile, Dear guests, don't be surprised, because my mother is a soul fruit user, and she wants to create a chess piece with the soul. Soldiers, city cleaners, and city liaisons all consume the power of the soul, which is the so-called lifespan. Actually, the lifespan paid by the people living in kingdoms is equivalent to the protection fees paid by the territories of other forces. Montdior explained. Usopp began to calculate in his mouth. If it is once every 6 months, 1 year is equivalent to 2 months of life. If a person lives to 60 years old, it is equivalent to living only to 50 years old. My god, it's like losing 10 years of life. Chopper's face showed a shocked look. Mont Dior continued to explain, actually, it's okay. With my mother, at least they don't have to worry any danger, and everyone can live to old age in peace. Buggy nodded, that makes sense. Although Big Mom collects souls, she does indeed provide shelter. We walked all the way before, and some countries hand over huge amounts of heavenly gold to the world's government every year. Not only the common people can't live happily anymore, and the protection provided by the world government is only lip service. Charlotte Mont Dior, the buggy over there is so right. Although my mother takes the lifespan of ordinary people, she can guarantee the safety of the people of Totoland. Are the civilians in the affiliated nation living a peaceful and stable life? Charlotte Perros, what do you think? From the white-framed and red border videos, there are not many countries whose civilians are protected, and it depends on their own countries. Marco, yeah. If the king of those countries is an asshole himself, like Wapol, then the common people in that country will suffer. Yasop, even a good king like Cobra can't stop powerful pirates from doing bad things in their country. Sengoku, you pirates, don't open your mouth and talk nonsense. Didn't the world government send Marines to maintain the security of these countries? Nami, Marine is indeed fulfilling the duty of protecting these countries, but basically, they will send warships after something happens. But what's the use of that delayed justice? Ben Beckman, delayed justice, well said. When Marines sent warships to the country where the accident occurred, the local civilians had already been killed. And even if Marines sent warships to solve the local problems, but after Marine leaves, the local civilians will still be harmed by other pirates and bandits sooner or later. Tsuru, what's the situation? You pirates have the face to say this? If you weren't harming civilians, why would our Marine need to be like this? Gold Roger, haha. Don't confuse the public. Pirate groups like the Big Mom Pirates, although they bear the name of pirates, are actually considered a country. What they do is the same as what the world's government is doing, it's not even as ruthless as your world's government. Kojiki Odin, Captain Roger is right. Those pirates who do evil things are indeed evil, but like Brother Whitebeard's Whitebeard Pirates, they maintain the peace of their territories and only charge a certain amount of protection fees to civilians within their jurisdiction. It has been a lifesaver for many people. Charlotte Linland, Marine. Don't talk those useless things. The fact is that there are more than 20 islands in my jurisdiction. No one has been attacked by pirates for many years, and those affiliated nation under the command of your world government are still often harmed by pirates, even by local nobles. Luffy has been listening, he has no opinion on this. In his opinion, this way of charging the lifespan of Big Mom is definitely wrong. But as Mont Dior said, this is no different from other forces collecting protection fees. At least, the civilians living in the territory of Big Mom don't have to worry whether they will be harassed by pirates tomorrow. Don't worry being shot down by 10 Ryuobaitos. The lifespan they pay can be truly rewarded. Whether this is right or wrong, Luffy can't immediately draw a conclusion at this time. Nami suddenly grabbed Luffy's hand and pulled him to the back, then put her lips next to Luffy's ear and whispered, "This Big Mom, isn't it the same as sucking thousands of berry, the blood of the people of the country?" Luffy nodded, yes. For Nami's point of view, Luffy is very sure. He knows that Nami has lived in the shadow of the Arlong pirates since she was a child, so she is very sensitive to freedom. After seeing the civilians in Cake Island being given a layer of shackles by Big Mom 1, the blood of justice surged in Nami's heart. Seeing that Luffy agrees with her point of view, Nami clenched her small fist, her face full of justice. "Luffy, I think we should help these civilians." Luffy pursed his lips and asked in a low voice, "Defeat Big Mom pirates and liberate the nations?" Nami nodded vigorously, "Yeah. Give the civilians here a freedom." Luffy thought for a while, then leaned close to Nami's ear and asked in a low voice, "Then, shall our Straw Hat Pirates replace the Big Mom Pirates and rule the nations?" Nami suddenly frowned, Of course not. We still have our journey, and if we replace the Big Mom Pirates, then what's the difference between us and the Big Mom Pirates?" Luffy bought 2 ice creams from the side of the road, and whispered while eating, "Have you ever thought it if we drove the Big Mom Pirates away, and then we left, will the civilians here really be free?" Nami was to say that they will be free, but suddenly realized what Luffy meant. "Looks like you understand." Luffy smiled, "This is New World. Once the sea area of Totoland is no longer occupied by Big Mom Pirates, then countless pirates will flood into the island, and the life and death of civilians on these islands will depend entirely on the mood of the pirates they meet. Think it, if that's the case, are we really saving them?" Speaking, Luffy stuffed another ice cream into Nami's mouth. He now has one more dream. He wants to try to change the world. But this matter, after Luffy has experienced so much, he understands one thing very well. Only by fundamentally changing can the world be truly changed. Luffy's words echoed deeply in Nami's mind. If the Straw Hat Pirates beat the Big Mom Pirates away, they can't stay here. This consequence, Nami will understand immediately after thinking it for a while. That's not helping the civilians here, but harming them. Boom. Nami took a sip of the ice cream, then looked at Luffy. "I'm sorry, I thought too one-sidedly. There's nothing to apologize for, it's just your kindness overshadowing your reason." Luffy smiled, then reached out to wipe off the ice cream overflowing from the corner of Nami's mouth. Afterwards, Luffy was to wipe off the ice cream on his right thumb with a tissue, but Nami suddenly grabbed his hand. "Don't waste it." Speaking, Nami ate it in one gulp. Chapter 187 Goma Goma no Return Your Ma's Sober Punch. Vinsmoke Sanji, Luffy, you are a bastard. Ah, Nico Robin, ahaha Usopp, Nami over there is really clinging to Luffy, Rorono Zoro, it's obvious. Boa Hancock, to actually lick Luffy-kun's fingers. Ah. In the evening, Thousand Sunny arrived at the Whole Cake Island. Mama. My guest is here. Watching the Straw Hat Pirates come in through the gate of the Cake Castle, Charlotte Linlin happily stood up from her seat and greeted Luffy and the others. Haha, Big Mom, I've heard of your name for a long time. Luffy was also smiling. He took a gift box from Sanji and handed it to Charlotte Linlin. I know you like desserts, this is specially made for you. Oh, Your Excellency, Luffy is so nice. As soon as she heard it was a dessert, Charlotte Linlin immediately took it, and then stretched out her hand. Everyone, please sit down. Charlotte Perospero seemed to be acting as the master of ceremonies. He clapped his hands, played the music. Suddenly, beauties of all races filed in and danced a wonderful danceau. The eyes of Sanji and Brook all flew out. Wahahaha. Seeing Sanji and Brook's reaction, Charlotte Linlin is very happy. After drinking for 3 rounds, Sanji and Brook are already happily hanging out with the dancing girls. The banquet is very festive. The next day, Charlotte Linlin brought Luffy and Robin to the place where the poneglyphs was stored. After all, it is Charlotte Linlin's treasure house. It is impossible for the entire Straw Hat Pirates to follow. Apart from Luffy and Robin, only Buggy followed. Although Zoro is stronger, Buggy has the advantage of being able to fly. Buggy without feet can fly freely. This maneuverability is unmatched by Zoro. Robin can translate. Luffy can use his voice of all thing, of course, he also translated it, and the content is indeed exactly the same as what he heard. Subsequently, Luffy shared all the content with Charlotte Linlin, and pay 100 million belly. Charlotte Linlin is also a straightforward person. She directly rejected 100 million belly with a big smile. Charlotte Linlin is proud to host the Straw Hat Pirates for 3 days. Sengoku, damn it. Now that Charlotte Linlin over there has provided it, then the correct answer can only be one of C, D, and E. From the current situation, option D is the most likely. Sengoku suddenly felt anxious. The development of the video. If the correct answer is option D, then Rox, Roger and Shiki will all be rewarded. Both Roger and Shiki are in Marine headquarters, so once they get rewards from the viewing system and their strength increases, they will directly put enormous pressure on the entire Marine in the upcoming Summit War. And Rox, he don't know where that guy is now. If he's in Marine headquarters, the consequences will be disastrous. Rox D, Xebec, haha. Sengoku, old dog, be confident. The answer must be option D, Gold Roger, haha. Choose with Rox. C is impossible, and E is impossible. Shiki, yeah, the relationship between Linlin and Red Border Luffy over there is so harmonious, it is definitely impossible to fight. With Linlin's character, let her daughters join the Straw Hat Pirates, it's totally possible. Jahahaha. Gold Roger, haha. Rox, you are the best. Shiki, Captain Rox, you are the dawn of Roger and me. Suru, trouble. Seeing that the 3 big pirates are to get rewards, Vice Admiral Suru frowned deeply. At noon on the 3rd day, the banquet remains the same. Charlotte Perospero still acted as the master of ceremonies. He clapped his hands, then played the music. Drinking a glass of milkshake pudding, Charlotte Linlin looked at Charlotte Bruley next to her and said, Bruley, yesterday's banquet cake was delicious, go and get me another one. Banquet cake. When hearing this word, the expression on Charlotte Bruley's face suddenly showed a touch of panic. Suddenly, she adjusted her expression and whispered in Charlotte Linlin's ear, Mom, there is a chocolate chiffon cake, the taste is not inferior to yesterday's banquet cake, do you want to try it? Charlotte Linlin frowned and said unhappily, I said I want to eat yesterday's banquet cake, didn't you understand? No. Mom, yesterday's banquet cake was made by the head chef and several ministers a day in advance, after a day of baking and cooking. If you want to eat it, we won't be able to make it until tomorrow at the earliest. Trying to calm down her nervous mood, Charlotte Bruley patiently explained to Charlotte Linlin, but in fact she was already panicked when she finished speaking. Charlotte Linlin was petrified. Her face darkened in an instant, and her eyes were cold and stern. That is to say, I won't be able to eat the banquet cake today. Suddenly felt Charlotte Linlin's emotional fluctuations, and Charlotte Bruley panicked all of a sudden. Even under the terrifying coercion of Charlotte Linlin, Charlotte Bruley can already clearly feel her soul escaping. Charlotte Linlin, I suddenly suffered from my eating disorder. Charlotte Bruley, looks like it is, Mom. Charlotte Montdior, look at the situation, Sister Bruley is in danger. Gold Roger Linlin, you can eat everything fast. Shiki, gee ha 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 ha. This sudden scene made all the cotters of the Charlotte family look over at once as Charlotte Linlin's children. They are too sensitive to Charlotte Linlin's cravings. Not good. Charlotte Katakuri's face suddenly froze. Luffy was picking his teeth with a fishbone. When he heard this, he looked at Katakuri suspiciously. What's wrong? Your Excellency Luffy, hurry up and leave with your partners, otherwise I'm worried that Mom will hurt you by mistake. Looking at Charlotte Linlin's sudden situation, Katakuri knew that he didn't have time to explain something to Luffy, so he quickly sent them away. Flamp, take the guests of the Straw Hat Pirates and leave first. Oven, you go to the head chef. You find a way to make another banquet cake as soon as possible. Katakuri didn't have time to explain, so he started ordering immediately. Hey, what's the matter? It seems like a war is to break out. Nami opened her mouth. Her face was full of confusion. Yeah, Big Mom's children seem to be in a panic. Usopp is also full of confusion. Charlotte Flamp, the 36th daughter of the Charlotte family, quickly floated over and greeted Luffy and the others. Everyone of the Straw Hat Pirates, please come with me. Luffy didn't intend to ask more about the situation, so he will leave, but at this moment, Bruley suddenly let out a cry. Mom! I'm your daughter, Mom, Charlotte Bruley yelled in fear. This call made everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates look at her. They saw Charlotte Linland's whole temperament change drastically, from the kind big mom just now to an old woman who wants to eat people. She grabbed Charlotte Bruley, a special soul deterrent emanates from her body. You want to stop me from eating the banquet cake? The creepy voice comes from Charlotte Linland's mouth. No, no, no. Mom, I didn't intend to stop you. I'm your daughter, little Bruley. Charlotte Bruley's voice became more and more terrified. On her body, a substance that looked like a soul floated out of her body. No. Sister Bruley is going to be killed by mother. No. Mom, that's Bruley. Mom, stop it. Seeing such a terrible scene, all the cotters of the Charlotte family shouted in panic. However, no one dared to go forward to help Charlotte Bruley. Luffy frowned suddenly. What's going on? Big Mom was fine just now. Why did she want to kill her daughter all of a sudden? Why don't you go up and help her? Hearing Luffy's words, Charlotte Flamp shook her head with a panicked face. No, no, no. Once Mom's eating disorder occur, no one can stop her. If anyone dares to stop Mom, their soul will be sucked. Luffy said in surprise. It's so serious? Doesn't that mean that Charlotte Bruley will die? At this time, Charlotte Linland had already grabbed Charlotte Bruley's soul, pulled it out violently. Looking at the situation, Charlotte Bruley will ascend to heaven in a moment. Smooth. Seeing that Charlotte Bree is about to die, Nami made a sudden move. They saw that the soul of Charlotte Bruley, who was to be dragged out, slipped out of Charlotte Linland's hand without the external force. The soul immediately went back into Charlotte Bruley's body. Smooth body. Nami used the smooth fruit ability again. Charlotte Bruley suddenly slipped from Charlotte Linland's big hand. As if walking through the gate of hell, Charlotte Bruley was breathing heavily. She subconsciously looked at Nami. Her heart was full of gratitude. However, Nami's operation directly shifted Charlotte Linland's gaze from Charlotte Bruley to Nami. Dare to stop me. A cold voice came from Charlotte Linland's mouth. She turned around and walked towards Nami. Not good. Seeing the scene, Charlotte Katakuri hurriedly shouted, Your Excellency Luffy, please leave quickly. Mom is out of control now. She will attack you. Is it out of control? How can I make her stop? Luffy looked at Katakuri and asked. It's useless. Before Mom eats what she wants, her cravings can't be stopped. Moreover, as time goes by, her cravings will become more and more serious. The more serious she becomes, the destructive power will become more and more powerful. Until she eats what she wants, she will destroy everything in front of her. Charlotte Katakuri explains. Speaking, he hurriedly urged, Your Excellency Luffy, you should leave quickly, otherwise it will be bad if we cause a misunderstanding. Luffy shook her head. No need. Look at the situation. If she doesn't stop as soon as possible, this whole cake island will probably be destroyed by her, right? Charlotte Linland shattered the banquet table in front of her with one punch, and quickly rushed to Nami. Seeing that Luffy and others are still not leaving, Charlotte Katakuri is in a hurry. Your Excellency Luffy, didn't you listen to me? As long as she doesn't eat what she wants, no matter what, we can't stop her. Can't stop her? Luffy has a strange face. I think there is nothing that can't be fixed with my fists. Speaking, Luffy jumped out one step forward. Hair and body hair instantly turned into a white flame cloud. White steam is floating around his body. Nika form, transformation. Luffy is in the air. He bites his thumb and instantly turns into a giant fist. The jet black armament haki covers his fist. Purple haki rippling, armament haki instantly covered his fist. Hey. Your Excellency Luffy, he will piss off Mom. It's over. After he pissed off his mother, he will definitely be able to escape smoothly. In the midst of his mother's rage, we are going to be finished. Help! Looking at Luffy directly attacking Charlotte Linland, the rest of the Charlotte family showed panicked expressions. Yashao. Goma no sober punch. Accompanied by a low shout, Luffy punched out. Boom! The huge roar instantly resounded through the entire Cake Island. At this time, if someone is looking at the direction of the Cake Island from a distance, they will definitely see an invisible momentum erupting from the core of the cake list in an instant. It spreads violently towards the distance at an extremely fast speed. The sea surface around Cake Island seems to be pushed away by countless huge palms. Boom! The waves are surging. Chapter 188. Chapter 188. Linland, try to surpass me, Katakuri. Rox D, Xebec, Nanny. When seeing Charlotte Linland being punched by Luffy, Rox was so angry that the back molars were to collapse into front teeth. Although the punch hit Charlotte Linland, it hurt Rox. Because of this punch, his reward was blown away. Obviously, the answer is E. Gol D. Roger. Damn. Rox idiot, it's really no good hanging out with him. Shiki, damn it. It's true. Let's just say that this idiot has no good luck. Sure enough, we both have to lose our lives. Rox D, Xebec, get lost. Just now when you thought you were to get a reward, you two smacked your mouths like honey. Now that there is no reward, all ivory spit out of your dog's mouth. Damn it, if there are more questions to answer, don't follow my choice. Gol D. Roger, don't talk nonsense. If we get benefits from following you, of course we will say good things you. If we don't get benefits, shouldn't you scold you a few times? Shiki, idiot. Rox, we'll still choose the same one as you later. I'll scold you if we don't get a reward, you bastard. Edward Newgate Gururera. You two work harder, keep answering, and you will be in the same generation as me soon. Sengoku, okay. Red border. Luffy's punch is beautiful. It just wiped out the rewards of the three pirates. Rox D, Xebec, Sengoku, aren't you in your 80s? Gol D. Roger, Sengoku, aren't you in your 80s? Shiki, Sengoku, aren't you in your 80s? Ding. Those who answer the question wrong will get the punishment. Rox D, Xebec, deprived of the right to answer the next round of questions, deducting 11 months and 29 days of life. Gol D Roger, the right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and life expectancy will be deducted 2 months and 17 days. Shiki, the right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and life expectancy will be deducted 1 month and 8 days. Saint Topman Warcurie, deprived of the right to answer the next round of questions, deducting 11 days of life. Charlotte Linland, put, ha 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 ha. Captain Rocks broke the record. Edward Newgate, the previous record is held by Sengoku. It seems to be 11 months and 28 days. I didn't expect Rocks to climb the peak. It is really gratifying to break the record again under such a very low probability. Hey, Gurarara. Rocks D, Xebec, damn it. It directly deducted 1 year of my life. Roger and Shiki, two bastard, how can they be deduct so little? Damn it. Shiki, we were both cheated by you, shouldn't we deduct less? You are the culprit for the wrong choice, you should be deduct more. Gol D Roger, that's right. Only 1 year's deduction, 10 years deduction would be better. Rocks D, Xebec, you are a bastard. It can only deduct 1 year at most. Ding. The participant that answered correctly are Vinsmoke Sanji, St. Ethan Baron V, Nasjuro. Congratulations to both of you, for getting the rewards. Vinsmoke Sanji, Taijutsu 8 Inner Gates. St. Ethan Baron V, Nasjuro, reward the blood of the serpent of natural will, darkness. Ding. Because Taijutsu 8 Inner Gates and the blood of the serpent of natural will, darkness, are magical things from otherworld, special remarks are made. Physical technique 8 Inner Gates remarks, release the body's restriction on chakra, so that the excess energy can be released. There are 8 gates in the human body, such as gate of opening, gate of healing, gate of life, gate of pain, gate of limit, gate of view, gate of wonder, and gate of death. This 8 gate will set a limit on the amount of chakra in the body, but this technique can make chakra forcibly surpass the limit, thereby drawing out the original strength that was dozens of times stronger. However, while gaining strength, the caster himself will suffer damage, so this technique is listed as one of forbidden technique. When the 8 gates are all open, it is called 8 Inner Gates formation, which can instantly gain a power hundreds of times greater than itself, but user will also die due to the exhaustion of its own vitality. If the physical body is strong enough, or the defense of the physical body is strong enough, it can offset the side effects of 8 inner gates on the body to a certain extent. Scratchman Apu, hey, did I read it wrong? Can this body technique instantly give people a power hundreds of times greater than their own? What kind of terrifying power is that? Capone Big, under normal circumstances, this physical technique can make you exert dozens of times your own strength. This is already terrifying. Marco, this physical skill is a bit too much. If you don't hesitate to sacrifice your own life to explode hundreds of times of strength, wouldn't it be kicking a 5 elders to death? Kong, damn it. Why isn't such a reward awarded to Marine? Suru, this reward is really terrible, and it still falls into the hands of the crew of the Straw Hat Pirates. When they saw the note explanation 8 inner gates, the powerhouses were all stunned. Everyone understands the meaning of the 8 gate fully open, that is, once the 8 gate is turned on, it will be a 1-for-1 exchange. No one can be an exception. So scary. Vinsmoke Sanji, hey, it seems that I have become the strongest trump card of the Straw Hat Pirates now. Green Mose, now it's clear that I am the stronger one, Rorano Zoro, idiot. Even in times of crisis, it's not your turn to use that 8 gate fully open, don't even think being our hero, understand. Monkey D, Luffy, until I die, you will never allow to open the 8 gate. Vinsmoke Sanji, hey, are you worried too much? Didn't you see that in the notes? If the physical defense is strong enough, it can offset a certain degree of side effects? As long as I practice armament hacky I can't die even if I open 8 gate. Rorano Zoro, Curly Cook, shut up. You are not allowed to open the 8 gate. Besides, how do you know you can't die before you try it? Vinsmoke Sanji, hey, why should I listen to you, you moron head? Nami, Sanji-kun, you are not allowed to fully open the 8 gate. Vinsmoke Sanji, yes, Nami-chan. Trafalgar Law. The blood of the serpent of natural will, darkness, remarks, integrate the blood of the serpent of natural will, darkness, to obtain the power of darkness. Gol D Roger, 5 elders rewards are all this stuff. Edward Newgate, yeah, I always feel that something special is going to happen here. Rocks D, Xebec, hey, old man, what is your ability? St. Ethan Baron V, Nasjuro, very powerful. Almost one hand can crush you to death. Rocks D, Xebec, damn it, you don't need to brag, do you? Be careful that the kid named Sanji will kill you. St. Ethan Baron V, Nasjuro, Boom, the whole Cake Island seems to have a violent earthquake in an instant. Inside the Cake Castle, under the attack of Luffy's sober punch, Charlotte Linland was not sent flying with a single punch, but stayed where she was. The moment Charlotte Linland touched Luffy's fist, Charlotte Linland's body was immediately rubberized with a bang. An extremely powerful penetrating force instantly penetrated Charlotte Linland's body. Charlotte Linland rolled her eyes, and immediately fainted to the ground, falling into a deep sleep at this moment. The entire Cake Castle was completely silent. All the cotters of the Charlotte family looked at this scene, and they were all shocked from ear to ear. Luffy exited Nika form, then looked at Katakuri. When Big Mom wakes up later, will her cravings continue? Charlotte Katakuri's mouth twitched slightly, subconsciously shook her head. I don't know. He never imagined that his mom, who was under her food disorder disease, would be subdued so easily. This is not the first time Big Mom suffers from cravings, she has had it several times before. In the previous eating disorder incident, no matter what they tried, they all failed in the end. Every time Big Mom fell into a state of eating disorder, it was only by giving her satisfactory food that her cravings disappeared. Looking at it now, it's not that Big Mom are terrible, but that the rest of the Charlotte family are too weak. If there is a person like Luffy who can stand up and punch Big Mom, will the disorder still be scary? Obviously not. Looking at Charlotte Linlin, who was sleeping peacefully on the ground, Katakuri swore inwardly, I want to become stronger. The me right now is too weak. An hour later, Charlotte Linlin woke up. I almost killed little Broly? Oh my god, it's really scary. Listening to Charlotte Broly's description of the previous scene, Charlotte Linlin was also terrified. She hugged Charlotte Broly. It's great that you didn't have an accident, otherwise it would be too late for me to regret it then. Big Mom looked at Luffy. Your Excellency, Luffy, it is thanks to your help. Otherwise, I'm afraid I won't be able to keep this cake island. Ah ha ha, I just had the attitude of giving it a try. I didn't expect it to really work. Luffy laughs out loud. When he was in Dressrosa before, Sugar was stunned by Conqueror's haki, causing all those who were turned into toys by her fruit to recover. So Luffy guessed whether beating Big Mom unconscious might also interrupt the state of craving. I didn't expect it to work. Sure enough, the fist is still reliable. The next day, the Big Mom Pirates came to see off the Straw Hat Pirates. Amidst the joyful songs and laughter, Thousand Sunny sailed away from Whole Cake Island. Among the crowd, Katakuri slowly leaves. Brother, what are you doing? Charlotte Broly caught up with Katakuri's footsteps and asked with concern. She is the younger sister who cares most Katakuri in the entire Charlotte family. Since yesterday's Big Mom craving disorder incident, she has been noticing that Katakuri's state is not right. Seeing Katakuri leaving alone at this time, she was worried that there was something wrong, so she quickly chased up to ask the situation. Broly. Apology appeared on Katakuri's stern face. Yesterday, I'm sorry, when you almost died at the hands of Mother, there was nothing I could do. Brother, what are you talking about? Charlotte Bree smiles. Mom's cravings are breaking out, we can't stop her at all. However, Katakuri shook his head, but the Straw Hat Luffy managed to stop Mom. Charlotte Bree quickly comforted. Brother, it's not your fault, you don't have to blame yourself, I can't blame you at all. No, this is my fault. Charlotte Katakuri suddenly smiled sadly. Broly, you have to know that in this world where the weak prey on the strong, the weak is the original sin. Brother, seeing Charlotte Katakuri, Charlotte Bree's face was full of worry. Broly, you don't have to say anything. This matter is my fault. It was my big mistake. When I was weak and Mother suffered from cravings, and all I knew was fear and terror. Later, when my strength became stronger and Mother suffered from cravings, I could only prevent my younger brothers and sisters to escape and avoid Mother. I never thought of defeating my mother head-on, so as to stop her cravings. Charlotte Katakuri clenches her fists tightly, his eyes full of guilt and pain. Brother Charlotte Broly stepped forward and hugged Kataka tightly. Thinking that the sister who cared so much him almost died in front of his eyes yesterday, Charlotte Katakuri deeply felt her own incompetence. He gently patted Charlotte Broly's hair, and Katakuri said deeply, Broly's, until Luffy's punch yesterday, he let me fully understand that my mother is not unstoppable. After all, I'm still too weak. Broly, listen up. I will become stronger. I will use my way to protect the smiles on your faces. Even if it's Mother, I will never allow her to take your smile away. Even if it's Mother, I will never allow her to put fear on you. Facing the vast sea and sky in front of him, Charlotte Katakuri uttered a cry of heart at this moment. He really understood this family belongs to Charlotte Linlin, as well as their Charlotte brothers and sisters. He, Katakuri, wants to protect his younger siblings. Shiki, G ha 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 ha. Linlin, you want to imitate Luffy and KOU. Rox D, Xebec, haha. Sure enough, the four emperors traditionally produce filial sons. First Whitebeard, now Linlin, no problem, ha ha ha. Charlotte Linlin, you two idiots, do you think I am wake up? If Katakuri can knock me out like Red Border Luffy, then I would be the happiest, idiot. Charlotte Katakuri, Mom Charlotte Linlin, don't say anything. Katakuri, look at yourself over there, he is your role model. Katakuri, listen to me, okay, work hard, be strong. Charlotte Linlin, try to outdo me, Katakuri. Chapter 189. Chapter 189. This giant elephant says I'm Joy Boy. The Straw Hat Pirates left the sea area of Tado Land, followed the direction indicated by the Beaver card, and finally arrived at Zo successfully. I see. When seeing Zo at this moment, all the partners of the Straw Hat Pirates open their mouths in astonishment. They finally understand why they can't rely on the Eternal Log if they want to go to Zo, but only rely on Beaver card. This guy is actually a huge elephant. Ha! Luffy, look over there. Thousand Sunny just arrived next to the elephant owner. Usopp points to the screen on the right. Luffy is already looking over there at this time. His observation haki just noticed a pirate ship on the sea nearby. When they found this pirate ship, the pirate ship obviously also found Luffy and the others. Boss Jack, that ship, well, it seems to be the Straw Hat Pirates. On the deck of Jack's ship, Sips Hyde, the giver, saw the flag of the Straw Hat Pirates, and pointed at it in horror. Straw Hat. Hearing this, Jack turned his head and looked over. When he saw the flag of the Straw Hat Pirates, his eyes burst into anger. After the Summit War, the Straw Hat Pirates became famous. Rumor in the sea, New World belongs to 4 emperors, but the Straw Hat Pirates becoming above 4 emperors. No matter how others feel after hearing such words, Jack is absolutely not convinced. In his eyes, Kaido is invincible. No matter who dares to touch Kaido's status, Jack will teach him a lesson without hesitation. At this time, seeing the Straw Hat Pirates appearing in front of his eyes, Jack's adrenaline soared immediately. The ones on the deck are Straw Hat Luffy with a bounty of 3 billion belly, the three swordsmen Zoro with a bounty of 1.8 billion, Usopp and Sanji with a bounty of 1 billion. Hey, this lineup is too scary. Captain Jack, let's evacuate as soon as possible. Jack's subordinate voice is full of fear, even the arm holding the telescope is trembling. Those names, However, when Jack heard this, his face immediately turned cold. He looked at his subordinate with almost cannibalistic eyes, and said coldly, "Bastard, who do you think I am? Sail to him, we will fight." Jack roared with anger on his face. The subordinate face suddenly filled with horrified shock. Shiki, put, ha. This guy named Jack, I'm afraid he is a fool. Queen, you really guessed this one correctly, he is indeed a fool. Jack, brother Queen. Although Jack is arrogant, he still admires Kaido, King and Queen. After all, when he was unconvinced before, he was beaten up by them. Gol D Roger on the side of the white border video just now, it seems to be this guy. He went directly to ram Sengoku's warship, right? Edward Newgate Gururera, the little Jack is really silly and cute. Marco, Jack over there is going to charge into the Straw Hat Pirates with all his members, which is twice as outrageous as the warship just now. Queen, hey, this retarded boy. Captain, their ship is approaching. According to the flag information, it should be the ship of Jack the Drow under Beast's pirates. Califa stood beside Luffy, informed Luffy according to the information in the notebook in her hand. Although her identity is a cleaner, Califa has been a secretary for several years after all, so Luffy gave him the task of collecting information on major forces. Obviously, for this kind job, Califa has done a good job. Jack the Drow? Can this guy dry out the ground like crocodile? Luffy frowned slightly, as if he had never heard of it. No, Captain. Jack the Drow ate an ancient Zoan elephant model mammoth, with a reward of 1 billion belly. Because the land he sets foot on will dry up and decay like a drought, and will eventually be destroyed, so he gained the nickname of Drought Disaster. Califa explained. Everywhere he step on will be destroyed. Hearing this, Luffy looked up at the giant elephant when they saw Jack's pirate ship just now. The ship was obviously to leave. This means that they should have just come down from Zo. If this Jack is really as rumored, wouldn't it mean that Zo's current situation is very bad? At this moment, Jack's pirate ship is approaching. What are you doing here? Luffy stands in front of the deck, looking in Jack's direction, although he can feel that the other party is not kind. But Luffy doesn't remember any intersection between himself and Beast's pirates due to routine operation. Luffy directly asked the other party, "Of course, meeting you." Jack's eyes were red, and the blood on his eyeballs was soaring. He roared in a low voice, "Straw Hat Boy, I don't accept your status to be bigger than Kadayo." Speaking, Jack instantly transformed into a human beast form, stepped on his foot, and jumped to the deck of Thousand Sunny. Seeing the scene, Luffy's eyebrows froze. Where does this inexplicable hatred come from? However, judging from the attitude of the other party, this is obviously full of killing intent. In this case, Luffy will do the same. Kangling. Zoro's sword is instantly unsheathed. Buggy also took off from the upper body. Sanji squeezed the cigarette out of his mouth, and played with his feet. Such a small character doesn't need Luffy to act at all. Because Jack's arrogant attitude made Luffy very upset, so Luffy's arms stretched instantly. Before the others met Jack, Luffy's big hand was already covering the sky, and it strangled Jack's neck with a bang. The jet black armament haki wraps around it. Purple Conqueror's energy ripples lingering back and forth. The moment the fingers were tightened on Jack's neck, Jack felt the fear of death directly. He violently waved the two sword in his hand, and slashed towards Luffy's arm, and under Luffy's chokehold, he couldn't use his strength at all. The two swords slashed at Luffy's arm. It can't even shave Luffy arm hair after just a few seconds. Jack's whole body softened immediately, hanging in Luffy's hands like noodles. Even the human beast form has changed back to human form. Luffy's arm retracts. Boom. Jack landed on the ground, as if all the strength in his body was drained. His knees softened, and he knelt down in front of Luffy. Lucky Roo, ha ha ha. Jack is an idiot. Usopp, red border. Luffy only took one hit and he ID done. Marco, one hit? What the red border Luffy did might not be considered an attack, right? Just grab Jack like a chicken. Queen, hey, I didn't see it. Jack, damn. Why is the red border Luffy over there so strong? Don Quixote da Flamingo, phew furfur. You idiot, can't you see it? You are too weak. Luffy's palm slapped Jack twice on the face. Why are you attacking? Do I have a grudge against you? After feeling Luffy's strength, Jack immediately faltered. He shook his head quickly. No enmity? Hearing this, Luffy chuckled, and threw a big punch on Jack's face. I don't believe you. The matter just now, even a fool can see the real hatred in Jack's heart. Without continuing to interrogate Jack, Luffy stretched out his hands and grabbed the two of them directly from the deck of Jack's ship. Luffy asked, "Tell me, what kind of enmity do you have with our Straw Hat Pirates? You hate it so much that you fight directly as soon as you meet is this?" Hearing Luffy's question, the subordinate suddenly felt dizzy. Then, he shared Jack's thoughts. After finishing speaking, he looked at Luffy with trepidation. Captain Luffy, although this may sound like nonsense, but the truth is, he's really worried that Luffy thinks he's joking and kills him in a fit of rage. Ha! Luffy was almost annoyed. Just because there are rumors in the sea that the Straw Hat Pirates are above the four emperors, this guy is so angry? Captain Luffy, it's really like this. Even if you give me 10 guts, I won't dare to lie to you. Feeling Luffy's speechlessness, Jack's subordinate quickly explained. Luffy waved his hand. Okay, let's not talk this. Let me ask you, have you been to Zo just now? Sips had nodded again and again. Yes, how did you get there? Luffy looked up at the giant elephant towering into the clouds, and asked suspiciously. We have a ladder, the subordinate said. Luffy said happily when he heard it. Go get it, we're going up too. He froze. They just used the KK launcher to poison Zo all over the place. Now the back of the giant elephant is full of poisonous gas. Where can they go up? But if they doesn't go up, they afraid the Straw Hat Pirates won't let him go. At this moment, Jack suddenly said, I'll go. Luffy didn't care Jack's initiative, but just nodded in tacit approval. After a while, Jack came back with the ladder spread along the legs of the Zo, and the ladder will stick up. Luffy, Nami, Shirahoshi, Sanji, Robin, and Buggy boarded the ladder together, and the others stayed on the boat. Buggy left his feet on the boat, and his body took off, acting as a scout. Jack followed Luffy and the others, like a little brother who opened the way, and kept carrying a ladder back and forth, so that everyone could keep going up. Everyone passed through the clouds and finally came to the back of the giant elephant. The moment he got on the back of the giant elephant, Jack tore off the gas mask from his waist and put it on his face. Ha ha, you guys are finished. Amidst Jack's grinning sound, the poisonous gas of KK drifted over with the wind. Feeling the poisonous gas drifting over, Luffy finally understood why Jack volunteered to help him get the ladder, so he was waiting for this. Luffy instantly opened the Nika form, and one palm became as big as a giant fan, spreading the poisonous gas fan floating in front. Nami was not idle either. She used the ability of smooth fruit to create a layer of slippery protective film on all her partners. Even if those poisonous gases approach them, they will be slid away instantly. The moment Luffy turned on the Nika form, the whole earth suddenly shook violently. No, to be precise, it's the giant elephant under his feet that is shaking. What happened? Jack, who was wearing a gas mask, suddenly changed his face, and exclaimed, why did this giant elephant react so much? He came to Zo 10 days ago, and he fought with Nekomamushi and Inuarashi here for 10 days and 10 nights. Then the KK launcher was used to wipe out almost the entire Zo. And he did not see any reaction from this giant elephant. Why is the giant elephant reacting so violently when the Straw Hats and the others came up? Inuarashi, what's going on? Why did Zo react so strongly? Nekomamushi, even in the video with the white border just now, Zo seems to have only made a sound that Luffy, Momonosuke and the others can hear. Tsuru, Zo reaction is too abnormal. It's like being frightened or encountering something unimaginable. Gol D Roger, ha ha ha. It's not frightened, but excited. Ha ha ha. Edward Newgate, is he really going to reveal the answer? Rox D, Xebec, what are you two talking about? Sengoku, is the mystery you are talking is really going to be revealed? Joy Boy, are you finally back? A voice that seems to have been passed down from ancient times quietly echoed in Luffy's mind. What? Hearing this sudden sound, Luffy's eyes widened. He looked around, confused. Who is it? Who is talking to me? What's wrong, Luffy? Noticing Luffy's strangeness, Nami immediately grabbed his arm with concern. Someone is talking to me. Luffy looked around while answering Nami. I am this giant elephant under your feet. Joy Boy, you are back. That voice reappeared in Luffy's mind. Luffy asked, Hey, are you talking to me? Who is the Joy Boy you're talking about? Joy Boy, you are Joey, you are back. Zo said, Joy Boy? Luffy murmured, then looked at Nami and the others. Chapter 190 Chapter 190 Promise across 800 time and space. Sengoku, Joy Boy? What's the situation? The information obtained from the Poneglyph stone tablet in the Fishman Island says that Joy Boy was a person from 800 years ago? Tsuru, yeah, I remember too. Joy Boy made a promise with the Mermaid Princess 800 years ago, but he couldn't fulfill the promise. Nami, Luffy is Joy Boy. What does that mean? Usopp, hey. Is that giant elephant suffering from Alzheimer's disease? Monkey D, Luffy, I'm Joy Boy. I'm Monkey D, Luffy, the man who's going to be the Pirate King. Gol D Roger, ha 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 ha. Luffy, since Zo said so, it seems that he can't be wrong. You are Joy Boy. If you don't believe me, let the 5 old men of Marijoys come out, explained Edward Newgate. Actually, haven't you understood yet? In the Summit War in the Red Border video just now, the world government did not hesitate to directly dispatch the 5 elders and the Holy Knight to completely wipe out Luffy. Everyone, don't you understand what's going on? Now think about it again. Gururara, Shiki, damn it. So that's the reason. You guys have been playing charades there for a long time, and you really know what the reason is. Monkey D Garp, Joy Boy, how could Luffy be Joy? Impossible. Must be a mistake. I was outside the delivery room when he was born. Gol D Roger, haha, Garp, don't you figure it out yet, you idiot? Joy Boy is not someone's name. It's a specific title of king. It's like Poseidon. A Poseidon will only appear in the Mermaid Princess for hundreds of years, and Joy Boy is the same. Kojiki Odin, obviously, since Joy Boy and Princess Poseidon lived in the same era 800 years ago, it is no problem for this generation of Joy Boy and Poseidon to live in the same era. Basil Hawkins, so it is. Straw Hat Luffy is Joy Boy? Why is it him? Saint Ethan Baron V. Nasjuro, huh? So what if he is Joy Boy? Didn't the 800-year-old Joy Boy die? The Joy Boy of this generation will die too. St. Marcus Mars, don't think that Joy Boy is a sacred title, it's just a title invented by people 800 years ago. Rox D. Xebec, I finally understand. Old man, this Joy Boy is probably not as simple as you said. Otherwise, why would you be desperate to kill him? The more you fear him, the more terrifying he is. Gol D Roger Rox, you are quite smart. You are right, in this era, why is the world government afraid of Joy Boy? That is because the appearance of Joy Boy will herald the collapse of the world government. Hahaha. Saint Topman Warcurie, don't be kidding, he's just a pirate. We want to kill him because we don't like such uncontrollable factors. What special identity does he have? World government collapse, hahaha, that's purely funny. Saint Shepherd, what nonsense. The world government represents justice, how could it be threatened by a mere pirate? Joy Boy. Hearing this, Robin frowned. She immediately thought of the content mentioned in the poneglyph she saw on the Fishmen Island. Isn't Joy Boy a person from 800 years ago? Robin frowned. I'm a little confused too. Luffy frowned, then he tried to ask the Lord in his mind, what happened here? Zoe replied, the person next to you brought a group of pirates. Zoe told Luffy what happened before. As Luffy guessed, he can also communicate with Zoe in his heart. Nami, wait. In the video with the white border, it seemed that Luffy could only hear Zoe's voice, but couldn't actively communicate with Zoe, right? Vinsmoke Sanji, that's right. I remember it too. It seems that only Momonashuk can talk to Zoe, and can also give orders to Zoe. Trafalgar Law, the straw hats on both sides are not the same, think the difference between them. Monkey D, Luffy, he is stronger than me? Gold Roger, haha. It's obviously because of the awakening of the fruit ability. When the Luffy in the white border video arrived at Zoe, the fruit had not yet awakened, but the red border Luffy had already awakened. This is the difference. Monkey D Dragon, your excellency Roger is right. Just now, the moment when the red border Luffy used his awakened form, Zoe vibrated. It seems that it is indeed because of the awakening of the fruit ability. Nico Robin, so, what is the significance of Luffy's fruit awakening? As the only survivor of O'Hara, Robin is keenly aware of what is wrong. When Luffy learned the tragedy that Jack and his gang committed against Zoe, he was furious. If the two sides are enemies, no matter how vicious the means are, Luffy will not have any opinion. But Jack brought people to Zoe to capture someone, but everyone in Zoe said that there was no such person, so Jack directly poisoned almost everyone in Zoe, even the little ones not spared. This, absolutely damn. Luffy pulled the gas mask off Jack's face, threw it on the ground, crushed it with one foot. Seeing that his gas mask was gone, Jack's face changed drastically. Don't care so much, he turned around and ran towards the edge of the giant elephant, then jumped down. That kind of KK gas, even Queen praised its terrifying power. Jack doesn't want to be poisoned to death by the poison gas he released. Jumping off the back of the elephant, Jack let out a sigh of relief. Even if he falls into the sea, he will not drown because he is a fishman. Just wait for his men to salvage him from the sea. But before he was happy, a big hand suddenly fell from the sky and grabbed him back. Luffy pressed Jack on the back of Zoe, with the armament Haki and Conquer Haki wrapped around his palm, twist Jack hard. Click. Jack's neck was instantly broken. However, as an ancient Zoan, Jack did not easily die. He wailed in pain, lying on the ground and unable to move. Buggy, concentrate the poisonous gas in the air and pour it all into his mouth. Luffy pointed at Jack with cold eyes, and said, okay. Buggy doesn't ask the reason, he knows that Luffy must have the right reason for doing this. Buggy first stretched out a finger to touch the poisonous gas in the air in front under the protection of Nami's smooth protective cover. The poison that touched Buggy immediately slid away, and did not cause damage to Buggy, but at the same time, Buggy's fruit ability takes effect on the poisonous gas it touches. Okay. Looks like it's not difficult. After trying it, Buggy gained confidence, so he activated the fruit ability 1000 Buggy. His body suddenly split into 1000 pieces of different sizes. Then, Buggy looks at Nami. Nami activated her ability, and covered the 1000 pieces of Buggy pieces with a smooth protective film. Next moment the 1000 fragments of Buggy flew out quickly, and were quickly seized in the air in front of them. For a while, like hundreds of rivers flowing into the sea, countless poisonous gas molecules continuously condense into a poisonous balloon in the sky. The poisonous balloon rotates rapidly, and the condensation is getting bigger and bigger. Not long after, all the poisonous gas in this area was swept over. The poisonous balloon is continuously concentrated and condensed under the control of Buggy. Buggy waved his hand. The poisonous balloon immediately flew in front of Jack, and then branched out into a line of poisonous gas, which went into Jack's mouth. Ah, don't, Seeing so much poisonous gas pouring directly into his mouth, Jack yelled in horror. However, he hasn't had time to say a complete sentence yet. The poisonous gas pouring in made him speechless. With the entry of poisonous gas, the toxicity will soon appear. They saw that Jack's whole body turned pale, like limestone that had been weathered for a long time, and it penetrated extremely. Very good, take him with you and use him to purify the air here. Looking at the half-dead Jack, Luffy said. At this time, Robin said, Luffy, just now Zoe said you were Joy Boy, does this Zoe know something? I asked it just now, and it has been emphasizing that he is a sinner, but he seems to be able to communicate only a little bit, and he doesn't seem to know much. Luffy explained. Is that so? Robin pondered. Luffy thought for a while, then said, actually, if I think it carefully, I can understand the meaning of this. So, Joy Boy should not be a person's name, but a title similar to Poseidon, just like little Shirahoshi, she is Poseidon, and there was also Poseidon 800 years ago. You're right. I think so too. Robin nodded, and, don't you think it's interesting? The poneglyph we saw on the Fishmen Island before, it said that 800 young Joy Boy made a promise to the then Princess Poseidon, promising to let the Fishmen Island live in a reel in the sun, and also to take the mermaid princess for a walk in the real forest. And now, if Zoe didn't lie to me, then it is equivalent to, this Joy Boy took Shirahoshi, the Poseidon, for a walk in the real forest, which is equivalent to completing agreement made 800 years ago. All of this, doesn't it seem like it's predestined? Luffy smiled, although he feel that what he said is a bit mysterious, but if you think it carefully, it really seems to be like this. Brother Luffy, you mean, do we have some kind of fate? Shirahoshi asks cutely after getting along with the Straw Hat Pirates during this period. Shirahoshi's timid character has improved to a certain extent. At the same time, she also knows her identity as Poseidon. Yes, Luffy nodded with a smile, and continued, if I just look at the content on the stone tablet of the Poneglyph and the Call of Zo, I may not be so sure, but when I was in the Summit War before, why did the world government the sudden death order for me seems to have an obvious answer. The answer you said is. Robin's face showed a desire to know the truth. Other partners also looked over. Luffy analyzed, the moment I used the Fruit Awakening ability just now, this Zo vibrated, and then began to actively contact me. When we were going to sea before, we offered a bounty very early. At that time, our pirate group was not very powerful, but the world government didn't send anyone to capture us until the Summit War. The world government seemed to have suddenly made a decision to kill me without mercy. Then if you think it carefully, my Fruit Awakening ability was exposed to the world government in the Summit War. In the vision of the government. So, if I'm not mistaken, then my Fruit Awakening is the Joy Boy. When the analysis of the red border Luffy was displayed in front of everyone, the viewers took a breath. This is the monster. Possess such a powerful talent, and is willing to put in the effort that matches his talent, and at the same time possess such a terrifying intelligence. Sengoku, the red border Luffy over there actually connected all the clues together in such a short period of time, and then deduced the truth. Zephyr, obviously, his analysis is reasonable and well-founded. There is no need to doubt, this must be the truth. King, Joy Boy shows up. As the only survivor of the Lunaria tribe, King was looking forward to meeting the legendary Joy Boy, hoping that he could change the world. However, for a long time, he kept thinking of Kaido as Joy Boy. Later, he didn't care if Kaido was Joy Boy. He only wants Kaido to change the world and create a new world. Watching the real Joy Boy show up, King felt a little bitter in his heart because even if the real Joy Boy appeared, it would be impossible for him to follow Joy Boy. Now he only recognizes Kaido. Gol D Roger, ha ha ha. Those 5 old men in Marijoy still don't admit it. Now you can see it. Red Border Luffy analyzed it by himself. Edward Newgate, Gururara, LA. Joy Boy, the awakened form of rubber fruit. This is what the world's government fears. Already thinking about your next read? Hit like and keep exploring infinite novel. Chapter 191. Chapter 191. Going to Wanakuni, the Elephant Lord is here. Luffy and the others walked forward, and soon saw a city. Everyone enters through the main entrance. The inside is devastated and ruined. This is what the town looks like after being poisoned by KK gas. Buggy cleaned up the gas on their way, and poured it all into Jack's stomach. Suddenly, a nimble figure jumped out and attacked Luffy, who was walking in front. Luffy stretched out his hand, enlarged his palm, and directly wrapped this nimble figure in it. Why are you so strong? Damn it, you invaders, why do you have to drive us all to death? After launching the first wave of attacks, Luffy's palms completely bound the figure. Carrot managed to get her little head out of the gap between Luffy's fingers, barely able to exhale. She struggled separately, trying to break free from the restraint of Luffy's fingers that look of gnashing teeth, as if wishing to kill Luffy and others alive. Bastard Luffy, stop it. That's a cute bunny girl. As soon as they saw the appearance of the enemy, Sanji immediately yelled hysterically at Luffy, stupid, calm down. If you do this again, I will knock you out. Nami raised her hand and punched it, and it landed on Sanji's head, and Sanji was instantly smashed into the ground. Shiki, gee ha 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 ha. This chick's fists is really powerful. Gol D Roger. Pfft. This has a sense of deja vu of a mother is teaching a disobedient child. Tony Chopper, poor Sanji. Rorono Zoro, this perverted cook, every time he saw a woman, he act like that. He deserve it. Vinsmoke Sanji, idiot green algae head, I respects women, you know nothing about me. As Carrot struggled in Luffy's hands, Luffy only felt an itchy gargling sensation in his palm. He looked at Carrot suspiciously. Why do you look like a bunny, and your whole body is covered with fur? Hearing this, Carrot's small face immediately became angry. Why do I look like a bunny? It's because I am a mink. Mink. Luffy was taken aback for a moment, then smiled awkwardly. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Let go of her. At this moment, a flash of lightning strikes. A slash of light directly hits Luffy's arm, and Luffy stretched out his other hand, zoomed in, and directly grasped this figure in his palm. What? Only a head emerges from the gap between Luffy's fingers. Wanda looks at Luffy in shock. Why is this person's strength so strong? Are all the people in your place so rude? Attacking people head on. Luffy shrugged his shoulders, then pouted his lips in the direction of Jack, who was being lifted up in midair. See this? He is the one who caused your home to become like this. We are just a group of people who just happened to pass by. Following the direction Luffy pointed, Wanda and Carrot immediately saw a huge monster riding in the air with one hand. That guy's body already looks like weathered, but if they look carefully, it's not hard to find that this guy is Jack the Drow. Wanda exclaimed, it's Jack. Carrot's little face showed a look of hatred. He is the one who killed so many of my people. Okay, I'll let you go now, so stop attacking me. Speaking, Luffy let go of both palms, and instantly shrunk back his arm. I'm sorry, because our country has just been dealt by a devastating blow, so we are a bit overwhelmed. I am really sorry. Wanda sincerely bowed her head to Luffy and others. Carrot also followed suit and apologized to Luffy and the others. It's okay. Luffy shook his head, then he pointed at Jack, but it seems that this guy can't absorb any more poisonous gas. The remaining poisonous gas may not be easy to deal with. Hearing this, Wanda quickly said, it doesn't matter. The wounded have all been moved to an open and ventilated area. We need to wait for the monthly rain to clear the remaining poisonous gas. The rain will wash away the poisonous gas. It rains once a month. Nami frowned slightly. Isn't this place on the back of a giant elephant? How can the rain be so regular? Since the giant elephant has been moving on the sea, it will definitely experience various sea areas, and the climate should be changeable. Of course, if the back of the giant elephant is above the clouds because it is tall enough, it should be that there is no rain all year round. How can it be rained once a month? This is because Zoe only takes a bath once a month, so our rainfall is very regular. Carrot came to Nami, said while stroking Nami's arm. Wow, a race with sparse body hair, her skin is so smooth. As soon as her hand was placed on Nami's arm, it slipped off. Seeing Carrot's funny appearance, Nami opened her lips. Hee hee, this is the ability of my devil fruit. And Luffy rubbed his chin when he heard their words. So the rain you mentioned is actually the water sprayed by Zoe with its trunk. Wanda responded, yes. But the day before Jack came, Zoe just took a bath, and we will need to wait another 20 days until the next rain, so in these 20 days, we can't get close to the forest, the poisonous gas there is too thick. Hearing this, Luffy's eyes lit up. Then, if Zoe take a bath now, will it be able to resolve the poisonous gas crisis in the forest you mentioned? Of course. But Zoe won't listen to anyone's instructions, and no one can make him take a bath now, Wanda said with a sigh. Luffy pointed to himself and grinned. You can't, but I can. You can. Wanda and Carrot were stunned at the same time, and then denied at the same time. Impossible. Ha ha. Check it. Luffy suddenly laughed when he saw the two completely disbelieving looks. Then, he yelled at the Lord, quickly, Zoe, give us rain. Boom. Under Luffy's order, Zoe moved slightly. The next moment, the pouring seawater was sprayed into the air, and then turned into a water mass. Carrot immediately shocked Zoe, can you do it again? Luffy thinks that since it is to flush the poisonous gas, it should be flushed several times. Zoe is obedient. He took another breath, and immediately sprayed it out. Hey! No, stop spraying. Seeing that the sky began to rain again, Wanda hurriedly yelled. Carrot also opened her mouth wide. No. Stop it, we won't be able to take it anymore. Such a large amount of water is basically the maximum amount that they can bear at one time. Twice, it will be too much. As the seawater came for the second time, the city in front of them was like a mountain torrent erupting, not only washing away the poisonous gas, but also washing away the building on the road. Hee hee. Luffy scratched the back of his head, smiled awkwardly. Ha. Wanda patted her forehead and said bitterly, no matter what, I still want to thank you for saving us. Your kindness, our Mink clan will remember it in our heart. It's okay, you can just pay us back. Luffy doesn't like being pretentious, but said directly, we came to Zoe this time to actually translate the poneglyph in the forest. If you want to thank us, lead us to take a look at the poneglyph. Hearing this, Wanda suddenly showed a look of vigilance. The reason why their Mink tribe was destroyed by Jack was because they had a ninja from Wano Kuni, and that ninja is now hidden in the forest. Could it be, they actually want to find the ninja? Wanda fell into deep thought. As for Carrot, she is a young girl from Zoe, so naturally she doesn't know about the ninja. What's the matter? Is there any problem? We don't need to take the poneglyph away, we just need to make a copy. Because the information we got is that the poneglyph in the forest is a road poneglyph, Luffy said, looking up at Luffy. Wanda thought for a while, then said, I'll take you to see Duke Inuarashi first. As for whether to agree to your request, let's see what he has to say. Luffy smiled. Okay. Not long after, led by Wanda and Carrot, Luffy and his party came to the forest. You mean, the reason why Zoe suddenly rained twice is because of them? Duke Inuarashi stared at Luffy and his party was full of doubts. Wanda replied respectfully, yes, Master Inuarashi, I saw it with my own eyes. For such outrageous things, Inuarashi is obviously very cautious. He thought for a while, then squinted his eyes and stared at Luffy. Mr. Luffy, why don't you give me a live demonstration? No problem. Luffy don't mind it, so he yelled at Zoe, can you water the forest? Huge sea water rushed to the forest in an instant. Not good. Inuarashi suddenly turned pale with shock. The amount of sea water this time is the same as before, but this time it is all coming towards the forest. Inuarashi and the members of the forest musketeers led by him were all washed away by the torrent. Half an hour later, all the Mink tribes who were rushed out of the forest came back with difficulty. Do you believe me now? Luffy looked at Inuarashi blankly, but in fact he was already happy. Although the other party's doubts are very reasonable, but sometimes, people still have to show their temper to the other party. Ahem, I believe it. Inuarashi is injured, but now he was washed out of the forest by seawater, and he drank several mouthfuls of seawater along the way. Inuarashi coughed violently. Then the poneglyph. Luffy looked at Inuarashi. Since you are the one who can communicate Zoe, then I have no reason to stop you. Although Inuarashi is not familiar with the information of Luffy, Zoe is a god in the hearts of the Zoe people. A person recognized by the gods. What qualifications does he have to stop Luffy? Led by Duke Inuarashi, Luffy and others came to the interior of the forest. A huge poneglyph is revealed in front of their eyes. After translating and copying the poneglyph, Luffy and his party did not stay too long, but said goodbye to the Mink tribe. Get off Zoe. Luffy and the others returned to Thousand Sunny. Captain Luffy, where is Mr. Jack? Jack, loyal subordinate, didn't see Jack, and asked nervously. Dead. Luffy replied casually, and then ordered to the now dead Jack subordinate, by the way, since you are from the Beast's Pirates, you must know how to get to Wano Kuni, so lead the way. Let's go to Wano Kuni. Hearing this, the man is numb in this way. Isn't he the same as a traitor to the Beast's Pirates? Luffy's face turned cold. Aren't you willing? If I kill you, there should be someone willing to lead the way. Yes. I will lead you. Although the man is afraid of Kaido, he is even more afraid of the immediate death. The previous Jack subordinate lead the way in the front and the Thousand Sunny follow closely behind. Not long after sailing, Luffy suddenly frowned and looked in the direction behind Thousand Sunny on the misty sea. Zo quietly followed. The red border screen slowly dimmed, the screen disappears. Chapter 192. Chapter 192. Kaido, huh? That damned elephant went to Wanakuni with the Straw Hat Pirates too. Charlotte Linlin, wahahaha. Idiot Kaido, you are going to be out of luck. Queen, it's all the fault of that idiot Jack. King, Jack really is unlucky. Gold Roger, bets. Let's guess how Kaido died over there. Shiki, I guess he will be scared to death. Edward Newgate, Gururara. I guess he will be punched to death by Red Border Luffy. Charlotte Linlin obviously got F***ked by that idiot Jack. Buckingham Stussy, ha ha ha. Linlin is right. At this moment, the screen with white borders gradually brightened. The screen appears. Luffy and his team left the waters of Tado Land and came to Wanakuni. What caught their eye was a scene of destruction. Everywhere is a barren scene. People are hungry, but because the land is polluted, even growing food has become a luxury. Kojiki Oden, damn. Wanakuni turned into this. Looking at the tragic situation in the picture, Kojiki Oden never imagined that after his death, Wanakuni would be so dilapidated. The civilians can't even eat. Back then, he voluntarily accepted Kaido's humiliation in order to protect civilians, and finally the power of Wanakuni fell into the hands of Kaido and Kurozumai Orakai. However, he couldn't believe that the result of what he did reduced Wanakuni to the miserable state it is today. Kojiki Oden, Kaido, Orakai. You two bastards, what did you do to Wanakuni? Kaido, ha ha ha. Oden, you idiot, it's because you take my word too seriously, ha ha ha. Kojiki Oden, Kaido, I will kill you. Kill you. Listening to Kaido's ridicule, Kojiki Oden anger rises. He feels so much pain recalling the previous battle. Kaido was already at a disadvantage, but when the Beast's pirates threatened him with Momonosuke's life, Kojiki Oden chose not to fight. Thinking it now, if he had been ruthless and ignored Momonosuke, he would have directly killed the Beast's pirates, and then slaughtered the Kurozumai family. Then Wanakuni will not be destroyed, but it will successfully be a country under his leadership and flourish. After all, that battle back then, between the civilians of the entire Wanakuni and the life of Momonosuke, Kojiki Oden chose the latter. He made the wrong choice. Tsuru, Kaido, you are a monster. Momonga, it's also the territory of the four emperors. The territories of Whitebeard and Big Mom are at least normal. Kaido's side is simply hell on earth. Sengoku, this is what happens when pirates become rulers. Kong, only by eradicating all the pirates can civilians live a good life. Gold Roger, I understand now. If you want to become a Marine Fleet Admiral, you must first have a thick skin. Otherwise, you are not qualified. Shiki, gee ha 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 ha. That's true. Luffy and Zoro meet up and navigated in the city of Wanakuni. At this time, a familiar figure appeared. They saw Basil Hawkins with the Beast's pirates, riding a beast towards Luffy and Zoro. Huh? That guy is. Because of Hawkins' iconic vertical eyebrows, even Luffy recognized him at a glance. Zoro narrowed his eyes slightly. Yes, he is a supernova of the same generation as us, but he seems to be Kaido's subordinate, Straw Hat. Seeing Luffy and Zoro, Hawkins was taken aback for a moment, and then he suddenly realized. The Pepple reported that there are criminals making trouble. It seems that it is you. Seeing Hawkins, Luffy and Zoro immediately set up a fighting posture. In the new world, either follow the strong or flee, there is no other choice. Hawkins looked at Luffy and Zoro condescendingly, and said with a blank expression, if you want to come here for sightseeing, then I'd advise you to do it somewhere else. Do you know whose territory this country is? Basil Hawkins, huh? I become Kaido's subordinate. Kid Eustace, hee hee, you are such a coward. Capone Big, what a disgrace. Hawkins, look like in this class of supernovas, there are cowards like you. Urage, it's embarrassing to be in the same generation as a guy like you. Scratchman Apu, a papa Basil Hawkins. In the previous White Border video, Luffy and Trafalgar Law form an alliance to deal with Doflamingo. Later, Luffy formed an alliance with Capone Big to assassinate Big Mom. It's really shocking for Basil Hawkins to become Kaido's subordinates. Captain Kaido, if you were looking for Straw Hat Luffy and Trafalgar Law, they are hiding in Palace City. Hawkins reported to Kaido like a loyal dog. Shortly after, the drunken Kaido came to the top of the Palace City. When Kaido in the dragon form, he directly turned Palace City into a sea of flames. Luffy fell into a complete rage, because several members of the Straw Hat Pirates are still in Palace Castle at this time. Gomu no King Kong gun. Among the endless anger, Luffy's punch fell from the sky and directly hit Kaido's dragon head. CT. Dragon-shaped Kaido was instantly blasted from the sky into the ground by Luffy. Boom, the earth shook. The entire palace seemed to have a violent earthquake. Bartolomeo, oh. Senior Luffy. Too strong. Basil Hawkins, the fruit ability of the Straw Hat Luffy here has not awakened yet? Can he beat Kaido with one punch? Kid Eustace, you coward, how can you understand the meaning of power? Kuzan, although the red border Luffy is very strong, the white border Luffy here is not strong enough to defeat Kaido, right? Borsalino, yeah, with the current strength of Luffy in the white border, he knocked Kaido down with one punch. It's outrageous. What is Kaido's strength? Marine admirals know it too well. Charlotte Linlin, wahaha. Kid Kaido, look at you, you don't need red border Luffy to kill you, white border Luffy will kill you with one punch. You are such a weakling. Kaido, damn it. Are you blind, old woman? I'm drunk there. You wait for me to sober up later, watch how I kill him. Gold Roger excuses. Shiki, g ha 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 ha. After a while, the dragon-shaped Kaido staggered back up. He glared at Luffy with a pair of bull eyes. Drunkenly, are you? Sharp eyes stared back. Luffy also stared at Kaido. I am Monkey D. Luffy. I am the man who will become the Pirate King. As soon as his voice fell, Kaido breathed out a mouthful of dragon breath. Boom, the ground under my feet instantly turned into a sea of flames. Kaido seemed to remember the name of the Straw Hat. Luffy, he hiccuped, you're the kid, you came to Wanakuni. Luffy ignored him, and jumped into the air after avoiding the dragon's breath. Gomu no elephant gatling. A fist as big as a small hill falls on the dragon-shaped Kaido crazily like a pouring rain. Kaido's huge body was like sifting chaff. After a violent shaking, he was blasted to the ground. Under this punch, Kaido changed back to human form. Shhhhhhhhhh. Kaido, who was lying on the ground, let out a snoring sound, then sat up slowly, and patted his head. He just looked up and saw Luffy falling from the sky again. Gear 4 bound man. Gomu no Kong organ. Fists that are more powerful than before are continuously falling on the body of Kaido. Boom 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 boom. He blasted for more than 10 seconds in a row. Luffy fell to the ground, tired, exhaling heavily, and at this time, Kaido, who had already taken Luffy's heavy punches, got up and sat up again. Kaido sat on the ground, patted his head. Sober up a little, he looked at the Straw Hat Luffy, and suddenly realized that he had been beaten by the kid in front of him for a long time. Suddenly, a sharp look appeared in his eyes. Capone big, nanny? He actually doesn't look hurt. If I remember correctly, even Luffy the White Border video, his punch is enough kill the pacifista in seconds. And those fists just now were almost Luffy's full strength. Kid Eustace, what a strong defense. Can't he get hurt like this? Hawkins, hiss, I seem to understand why I became Kaido's subordinate. Kid Eustace, you will see Straw Hat. When I meet Kaido, I will make him roll off the 4 Emperor's position. Queen, haha, you are a delusional boy. Kuzan, this is what Kaido should be like. Kaido then was really drunk. Borsalino, woo, to let the Straw Hat Boy just beat him up casually, but the Straw Hat Boy's output was as fierce as a tiger, and it didn't do any damage to Kaido. Tsuru, Kaido's defense and resilience are ridiculously strong, otherwise he wouldn't have made a fuss in Marine headquarters so many times and managed to escape. Suddenly Luffy felt Kaido's aura has undergone a huge change. Luffy's pupils shrank hard. He saw the purple hacky ripples on Kaido's mace instantly. Conqueror's entanglement. The moment Kaido's huge body moved, it moved like a thunder. While Luffy was still in shock, Kaido figure had already approached Luffy in an instant. 8 trigrams thunderclap. One shot. Kaido seems to have teleported behind Luffy, and Luffy, under this blow, has been defeated. Like a deflated rubber ball, Luffy's body spewed air and whirled a few times in the air before falling heavily on the ground. On his head, the blood flowed continuously. Kaido's right hand falls, he puts the mace on the ground, looks back slightly under the shadow of the sun. Kaido turned around, he looked cold and stern, and cast Luffy a cold look. You, Pirate King. You boy, Jack, boss Kaido. Queen, haha, jewelry Bonnie. So, 2 years later, Luffy, he can't do anything to Kaido. And Kaido only needs one attack to defeat him. Capone big, that's true, this the strength of the strongest creatures in the sea, land and air. Drake, he is ridiculously strong. Roronoa Zoro, even Luffy, who has been practicing for 2 years, can't survive even one attack. Urage, it's scary. Watching the sense of oppression brought by Kaido of the beasts in the video, this generation of supernovas subconsciously try to put themselves into the scene of Luffy in the picture. Buckingham Stussy, oh my god. Kaido is so awesome. Shiki, that's right. Especially after he knocked over the Straw Hat Luffy with the mace, he also said you king, so iconic. Jahahaha. Chapter 193. Chapter 193. The dead are reborn, and the Ghost Island battle rises. That terrifying strength directly overflowed the screen. All of a sudden, many pirates realized the gap between themselves and the strongest creatures in the sea, land, and air. Even Luffy couldn't help but gasp. Seeing the gap, the sense of urgency is also stronger. Even though he has awakened the devil fruit and advanced through the rewards of the system, he still feels that it is not enough. Not to mention how powerful Kaido is, just watch the Summit War from the Red Border video just now. Even the Red Border Luffy can only kill one of the 5 Elder by sacrificing his lifespan using his ultimate technique. If the Red Border Luffy during the Summit War was replaced with the current him, he can be sure that he will definitely die. Now that he knows his identity as Joy Boy, Luffy knows that he has no way out. The world government will definitely try to kill him. No matter what it is for, there is no room for maneuver and he must stand on the opposite side of the world government. In this case, if he doesn't become stronger, he won't even have the power to protect his partner's Wanakuni. Udon Luffy, whose face is covered with bandages, was brought here by the minions from the City of Beasts. Then he was locked in the cell and there is another person in the cell. Surprisingly, it is Kid Eustace. Kid Eustace, Nanny, suddenly saw that he was already in the prison of the Beast's pirates. As soon as he appeared on the stage, Kid's face turned dark. His fate is as good as Hawkins' Scratchman Apu Apapapapa. Kid, you are too miserable. Hawkins can still move freely, you were locked up before Luffy. Capone big, I wonder where did this guy gone? It turns out that Kaido has already taken care of him. Even his left arm was broken, what a tragedy. Trafalgar Law, this guy, looks like he had a tough fight with Kaido. Basil Hawkins, tut tisk tisk. Kid Eustace, tisk your mother. I was just defeated, and you surrendered. Anyone in this supernova can laugh at me, but you are not worthy. After Luffy got used to life in prison, he started fighting with Kid. The two competed in the quarry to see who worked more, and thus obtained a large amount of rations. Damp-haired Caribou appears, wanting Luffy to take him out of prison. Together from the conversation between Caribou and Kid, Kid said that his arm was cut off by the cotter of another pirate, Trafalgar Law. It was not broken by Kaido, but by the cotters of the red-hair pirate Capone Big. Is it only a cotter? Scratchman Apu Ape Papa. Kid used to ask, damn it, just a cotter cut off my arm. Seeing the truth, his broken arm, Kid felt extremely ashamed. Ben Beckman, you Supernova, do you have any misunderstandings? The cotters of the Four Emperors Pirates. Marco, haha. Do you feel ashamed to have your arm cut off by the cotter of the Four Emperors Pirate Group? Charlotte Katakuri, in this sea, there are too many pretentious guys. The moment when death comes, they will realize how weak they are. Mama. Shiki, this kid is really busy. He sank a pirate ship on Big Mom Pirates before, and then his arm was cut off by Shanks' cotters, and now he appears in the prison of Beasts Pirates. Edward Newgate, Gururara. You didn't provoke our Whitebeard Pirates. Do you despise me? Gold Roger, you idiot. In the White Border video, you died in the Summit War. Without you, the Whitebeard Pirates must have dropped out of the Four Emperors rank after 2 years of the Summit War. Shiki, so he really looked down on the Whitebeard Pirates. Ha 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 ha. When Luffy and Kid start planning how to escape from prison, the Scabbards are also making a move. A big event against the Beasts Pirates is slowly kicking off when the final battle begins. Charlotte Linlin also appeared in the camp of Beasts Pirates. Besides, the Beasts Pirates camp also has 3 supernovas of the extremely evil generation, Scratchman Apu, Basil Hawkins, and X-Drake. The camp against the Beasts Pirates, in addition to the Scabbards, it also includes 5 supernovas, Luffy, Zoro, Kid, Law and Killer. Even Kaido's daughter Yamato joined the rebellion. After the war started, Marco also enters Jewelry Bonnie. Oh my god. A total of 8 supernovas of our generation have appeared on Inagashima. Urage, not only that, there are 2 of the 4 emperors on the battlefield at the same time. Even Marco, the 1st Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, is there. Capone Big, this is a big battle. What a big battle. Such a big battle, I was not there. Kid Eustace, I really didn't expect it. There are 3 garbage in our generation of supernovas. Killer, I thought Hawkins was already embarrassing enough, but I didn't expect anyone to be more embarrassing than him. Trafalgar Law, people have their own ambitions, so don't talk to them. Charlotte Linlin, how did I show up at Kaido's? Buckingham Stussy, do you still need to think it? You must have gone to Kaido to relapse. Shiki, gee ha 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 ha. Charlotte Linlin, damn it, I'm tearing your mouth apart. Kaido. Buckingham Stussy, do you have shit in your head? When the war entered a fierce battle, the battlefield was divided. Luffy vs Kaido, Zoro vs King, Sanji vs Queen, Kid and Trafalgar Law vs Charlotte Linlin. When the war is drawing to a close, Kid and Trafalgar Law fought hard and almost lost everything. Trafalgar Law stabbed Charlotte Linlin with a sword and made her lie obediently on the ground. Kid came to the top of Charlotte Linlin and used the strongest electromagnetic cannon. Boom! When the light waves of the electromagnetic gun hit Charlotte Linlin, a ferocious smile suddenly appeared on her big face. She yelled ferociously and asked, do you want to give me 50 years of life, or live as a slave to me? Charlotte Pero, Mum was pushed into this situation. Gold Roger, Linlin seems to be dying too. Buckingham Stussy, after all, she is old, and she is being pushed up by the juniors. Charlotte Linlin, what stupid things are you talking about? Don't you see that I already use my ability on them? These brats use some fancy fruit abilities to force me to that point. It is indeed impressive, but if they think that they can defeat me, they are too naive. Charlotte Bruley, in the face of Mother's soul questioning, no one will not feel fear. Charlotte Oven, yeah, they're F*****. As soon as Charlotte Linlin's soul ability came out, all the pirates present felt deep fear. Soul-like bubbles began to emerge from their bodies. Ah, my soul is starting to drift away. It's terrible. Captain, run away. What are you doing standing there? If you don't run, you will die. All the pirates around shouted loudly to Kid and Trafalgar Law, and Horror Kid sneered, this old stinky old woman. It's just chanting scriptures. Do you really think I will be afraid of such things? Trafalgar Law has firm eyes, the ability to activate Op fruit in his hands, and ignores Charlotte Linlin's soul torture. Silent room. As the fruit ability of Trafalgar Law formed a soundproof enclosure around Charlotte Linlin, the effect of soul torture disappeared instantly. Trafalgar Law cut Big Mom, and Kids use his electromagnetic gun again. Boom! Charlotte Linlin deserves her fame for having her defensive body. Under the bombardment of this electromagnetic cannon, not only was her body not instantly melted, but she was not even penetrated. But she is now at the end of her wits. Under this powerful impact, she was directly shot out from the Ghost Island floating in the air. During the descent, Charlotte Linlin saw a bunch of souls, and she inhaled them in one gulp. The moment it was sucked into the mouth by the Big Mom, Law came and used his ability puncture. Under the double power of the puncture and the electromagnetic gun, Charlotte Linlin directly blasted through the surface of the ground and blasted into the underground. Kid Eustace and Trafalgar Law wins. Charlotte Linlin, what? They defeat me. Buckingham Stussy, haha, didn't you told me off? Shiki, the majestic 4 emperors. Big Mom was killed by 2 new generation brats. This is too tragic. Gee ha ha ha. Kaido, old woman, you are too shameful. Forming an alliance with me in the future. But end is like this. Charlotte Linlin, stupid Kaido. Damn, it's 2 against 1, you and the Straw Hat Boy are 1-on-1, how dare you bark. Later, I will see you being beaten by the Straw Hat Boy. You will look like an idiot when you are defeated, Kaido. I will be defeated by the Straw Hat? Didn't you see the scene of the Straw Hat sleeping peacefully under my mace? Charlotte Linlin, Humph, Basil Hawkins actually defeated the 4 emperors. Scratchman Apu, hey. These 2 guys are too exaggerated. They are like this. It seems that we indeed are stupid to surrender. Kid Eustace, Humph, idiot. I will definitely defeat them. Top of the skeleton castle. Luffy can not only use advanced armament haki, but also learn Conqueror's entanglement in the battle with Kaido. 2 powerful clashes. Luffy's strongest 4th gear is almost at the end of his rope. Roaring Thunder Bagua. Kaido grinned grinningly, waved a mace and blasted at Luffy one more time. If this blow still fails to defeat you, then I have lost. Gasping for breath, Luffy made the strongest move. Gomu no Supreme. Hey, Luffy just gathered his strength, when he suddenly felt his arm was locked by something. He saw Guernica, the CPO team leader, appearing behind Luffy at some point. He hugged Luffy's arm that was charged with punching. Iron Body. At this time, Luffy, who was to be exhausted, was suddenly stuck under the sudden attack of Guernica. Boom. Kaido's attack has also arrived. The mace wrapped around armament haki and Conqueror's haki hit Luffy mercilessly. The powerful attack instantly blasted Luffy to the ground. Blood spurts from Luffy's mouth. Luffy is like a deflated ball. After landing, there is no trace of life. Roronoa Zoro, what? Nami, Luffy, Vinsmoke Sanji, ah. Seeing that Luffy was hit by Kaido's mace and lay motionless on the ground, the Straw Hat Pirates all subconsciously exclaimed. Trafalgar Law, no way, the Straw Hat was killed. Kid Eustace, damn, that CP0 bastard. Monkey D. Garp, asshole. Why does CPO appear in a Nagashima? Gold Roger, Garp, don't you understand? This is the world government wanting kill Luffy. Edward Newgate, in the Red Border video just now, the moment the Red Border Luffy used the awakening form, the 5 elders did not hesitate to kill Luffy. Now in the White Border video, Luffy hasn't awakened his devil fruit. I didn't expect that the world government is still eyeing him. Monkey D. Dragon, as for the devil fruit that Luffy ate, the world government should have known the special nature of this devil fruit for a long time. Before Luffy become famous, the world government didn't care him. But when Luffy was called the 5th Emperor of the Sea, the world government obviously realized that Luffy might have the potential to awaken the devil fruit. So they can't sit still. Shanks, Luffy, is he dead? Looking at the motionless Luffy, Shanks has the most complicated emotions. When Luffy's voice disappeared, all the rebels were in pain. When everyone is ready to fight to the death, a burst of rhythmic drums suddenly resounded throughout the Ghost Island. Chapter 194, Chapter 194, calling the true name, mythical Zoan human fruit Nika form. Buggy, this sound, the rubber fruit has awakened. Vinsmoke Sanji, yes. Luffy's fruit has awakened. Usopp, I remembered. Red Border Luffy's fruit awakening was awakened by the blows of 2 giants, Dory and Brogy. Now Luffy on our side was beaten to the brink of death by Kaido. Probably it must have triggered some kind of chance for awakening. Roronoa Zoro, it seems that the awakening of rubber fruit has something to do with being beaten. Nico Robin, however, our Luffy has awakened under the reward of the viewing system. There is no need to go through such a painful process. Monkey D, Luffy, ah. If there is no viewing system, I will not got it until this time. Thinking that the Red Border Luffy had already awakened when he was in Little Garden, Luffy suddenly felt ashamed. Shanks, I just said, Luffy is not going to die. Gold Roger, sure enough. He is the existence chosen by the fruit. Awakening is inevitable. Holy Land, Marie joys when Guernica attacked Luffy and caused Luffy to be beaten to death with the mace. Another CP0 Joseph immediately passed this information back to the 5 elder. We paid the price of losing an agent, and angered Kaido, is it worth it? Saint Ethan Baron V. Nasjuro frowned and said. Saint Jagarsha Saturn shook his head slightly. No. This prize is still acceptable to us. The key is to eliminate the uncertain factors is the most important thing. However, Saint Ethan Baron V. Nasjuro still showed worry on his face. No matter in which era, the world government always tried to take back rubber fruit, but it never succeeds. Yes. Saint Marcus Mars puts his hands in his pockets. His tall figure is facing away from the other people. He seems to be talking to himself. This devil fruit seems to run away by itself. Maybe it has a will of its own. Of course, Zoan's devil fruit has its own will, let alone this mythical Zoan human fruit model Nika that bear the name God in it. Saint Shepherd Jew Peter said with a solemn expression. Kaido, what? That's a mythical Zoan. And it has the name of God. Charlotte Linlin, it turns out that the world government has long known that this devil fruit is different. No wonder, whether it is the Red Border video or the White Border, when 5 elders learn that the rubber user emerges, they chooses to kill the user without hesitation. Edward Newgate, Nika, the sun god, the old man has heard this legend. Nika, the sun god, has the characteristics of rubber in his body, and always have the sound of drum when he battle. People call it Song of Liberation. Sengoku, sun god Nika. So it's like this. Although everyone saw the awakening of the Red Border Luffy fruit before, everyone thought it was the awakening of rubber fruit. It turns out that it's not called rubber fruit. Suru, I see Kid Eustace, the origin of that fruit is so much. Trafalgar Law, it's no wonder that when I first saw the Straw Hat, I thought he was different. Roronoa Zoro, sure enough, Luffy is the man who can truly become the Pirate King. Usopp, oh sun god. Tony Chopper, Luffy is a god. So amazing. Marie Joy's, Pangaea Castle 5 elders looked at the scene, their faces were dark. They never imagined that the secret of the rubber fruit would be openly shown on the big screen by the viewing system. In this way, more and more people will support Luffy. Under such circumstances, it will become extremely difficult for the world government to obliterate the existence of Luffy. On top of a Nagashima, Luffy in the awakened state, he changes instantly. The hair turned into a white cloud of flames, and the whole body was surrounded by steam. He jumped up and appeared in the air. Under the backlit silhouette, he appeared in a unique pose against the background of the sun. On the top floor of the skeleton castle, all the people instantly looked up in the direction where? Boom! Suddenly, the dome of the skeleton castle exploded, flying and splashing. A gigantic rubber arm rushes out and grabs Kaido in the open. Then, Luffy appeared. He seems to be a divine state, grabbing the dragon's tail and shaking it violently. Then smash Kaido on the ground like a long whip. After a little sobriety, Kaido flew into a rage and spit out his dragon breath. Luffy was shocked, his eyeballs flew out, he grabbed the ground, and then lifted it up. They saw that the ground was like a huge piece of rubber with good ductility, which was instantly pulled up by Luffy and turned into a wall of rubber. Boom! The dragon's breath hit the rubber wall in an instant, as if someone had punched the rubber tire. Just entered the rubber wall. The terrifying high temperature seems to have lost its power at this moment, and it didn't even melt the rubber wall at all. Queen, hey, are you kidding me? Kaido's dragon breath was directly intercepted. Although they saw the awakened form of Red Border Luffy before, Queen never imagined that the ground rubberized by Luffy can easily block Kaido's dragon breath. Charlotte Linland, stupid Kaido, this time you are going to be screwed. You dared to laugh at me just now. Now look at you, being whipped by the Straw Hat Boy. Kaido, damn it. Even when I faced the awakened form of this fruit, can't I resist? In the Red Border video before, Kaido of course saw the scene where the Red Border Luffy punched and killed the 5 elders, but that is 6 gears after all. And with the double buff. But the Luffy in the White Border video in front of him is only using Gear 5, and it's only the Gear 5 that has just awakened. Is it possible to handle him? Kaido couldn't accept it. Kaido, who suffered a loss, bit Luffy into his mouth in anger, and then swallowed him in one gulp. However, Luffy's voice came from his stomach, Goma Goma no balloon. The next moment, the middle part of Kaido's body suddenly turned into a huge ball. At this time, Kaido looks like a beef ball on a rope. Very funny. Goma Goma no escape rocket. Luffy's hands burst out from Kaido's 2 dragon eyes. Of course, it's not pierced, but Kaido's eyes have also been assimilated into rubber, which is equivalent to Kaido's eyeballs becoming Luffy's gloves, which are stretched out along with Luffy's hands. Grab Kaido's nose with 2 hands, then he escape. Whoosh! Luffy's figure burst out of Kaido's mouth. Goma Goma no Gigant. He turned into a rubber giant, stepped on Kaido's head with 1 big foot, then grabbed the Kaido and start a jumping rope. Shiki, pft, Kaido, jahahaha, Gold Roger using Kaido as a jumping rope. I laughed so hard. Capone Big, the power of this devil fruit's awakening and non-awakening is too exaggerated. Originally, Luffy had no chance of winning in front of Kaido, but after awakening, he can actually fight Kaido. Basil Hawkins, is this the power of a devil fruit named after a god? Suru, this is not just a wild way of fighting. His strength seems to have been greatly enhanced. Jun, that's right, and his rubberization has been improved by at least 100 times compared to before. It was impossible to become this huge rubber giant. When the Red Border Luffy fruit is awakened, there are no super powerful enemies for comparison, so everyone has no clear concept of the improvement brought by the awakening of this fruit. And now, before awakening, Luffy was beaten. After awakening, Luffy treats Kaido as a jumping rope instead. The clear contrast is enough to show how powerful the awakening of Luffy Mythical Zoan is. Above the sea, Zo is coming towards Wanakuni. It's so nostalgic. The rhythm of the heartbeat, Joy Boy, it's Joy Boy, as if you were there. Beating heart. Zo's voice seems to resound in the ocean. Nekomamushi, that voice belonged to Zo, right? Inuyagarashi, that's right. It must be the voice of Zo. Kojiki Odin on Red Border Luffy's side, he used Nika form. Should it be called this form? When it was turned on, Zo felt it. Now, it's the same on White Luffy's side. Shanks, no mistake, Luffy is Joy Boy. Edward Newgate, this giant elephant has lived for hundreds of years, and it must have some kind of mission. It seems that the Straw Hat Luffy will really change the world. Gurarara. Saint Ethan Baron V, Nasjuro, idiot. Don't just threaten to change the world. The world is far bigger than you think. Saint Marcus Mars, the world government exists for 800 years, it will not to be overthrown. Saint Jagarsha Saturn, it's just the awakening of the Nika form, and it's not like no one has held it before. The Joy Boy in the Poneglyph is dead, he doesn't pose any threat to the world's government. Rox D, Xebec, ha ha ha. You old men really like to give exes. Luffy and Kaido fought for some time. Suddenly, Luffy jumped into the Cloud City. It's time to make a break. He roared, and a fist enlarged infinitely, turning into a fist bigger than a Nagashima. A jet black armament Haki and Conqueror's Haki wrapped around it. Kaido's huge body is circling in the air. He looked at the huge fist that appeared above, and said in a deep voice, okay, I understand. Then I'll take your punch. You know what? Straw Hat Kid. 20 years ago, the heroes of this country were burned alive. This way, this country has become a lawless place. Anyway, now, you are the hero they have been waiting for 20 years. It's a pity that your punch has no chance to land, because it will be melted before it lands. Listening to Kaido's words, Luffy said angrily, I won't be melted. Gomu Gomu no. Bajrung Gun. Accompanied by Luffy's roar, his fist, which is as big as the island of ghosts, fell from the sky. Kaido also exerted all his strength, and the flames all over his body were even worse, blazing bagua. Kaido rolls up the billowing flames and soars into the sky. The two sides collided together in an instant boom. The terrifying power instantly shattered the sky of a Nagashima Island Straw Hat Boy. What kind of world do you think you can create? It seems to have felt something. Kaido asked an inexplicable question during this attack. Stalemate. Luffy heard the words, gritted his teeth and said, I will create a world where everyone can have enough to eat. Boom. Luffy's power burst out, forming a powerful impact, knocking Kaido down. The moment it landed, Kaido was like a ground drilling bomb, directly smashing through the surface of the earth and directly penetrating into the underground. This battle. Monkey D. Luffy, win. Capone Big, win. Straw Hat Luffy defeated 4 Emperors. Kaido. Kid Eustace, ha ha ha. 4 Emperors, no more. Trafalgar Law, the Straw Hat is really a trustworthy guide. Kaido, damn. He really is Joy Boy. Watching the scene, Kaido suddenly recalled what he said to King back then. He once said to King, that the person who will defeat him in the future is Joy Boy. And now, this man appeared. King, brother Kaido, the legend, it really exists. Punch down, Luffy also falls from the sky like a deflated ball below. Yamato ran over quickly, and caught Luffy in her arms. Yamato looked back at the bright lights in the night sky, with a happy smile on the corner of her mouth. Gold Roger, Kaido, you were beaten to death by Luffy, but your daughter seems very happy. Charlotte Linlin, it's not just she is happy, she even saved the Straw Hat Kid. Fall Shiki, gee ha ha. I said that Kaido is not easy. To make my daughter smile, it's a lot of effort. Monkey D. Garp, ha ha ha. Edward Newgate, Gururara. Chapter 195, Chapter 195. With a swipe of Zo's nose, Wanakuni is the founding of the country. 2 Emperor was defeated. Wanakuni celebrate. At the same time, in the ruins of the battlefield, Drake and Hawkins are lying on the ground. Drake seems to be seriously injured, and Hawkins seems to be. Capone Big, isn't Hawkins dead? Killer, a person like him actually threatens me with Kid's life. He is lucky to die by my sword. Basil Hawkins, hey. Drake, looking at the situation, I should be able to be rescued. Urage, ha ha ha. Inside the palace castle, underground 2. Robin is looking at a piece of poneglyph. Are you interested in these? Nico. Robin. Suddenly, a voice came from the stair passage behind. Robin looked back at the past. How do you know my name, Mr. Tengu? The two chatted for a while. Tengamera took off the mask on his face, showing his true identity. Kojiki Sukiyaki. Kojiki Odin, what? Father. When he saw his biological father, Kojiki Odin was completely dumbfounded. Kojiki Sukiyaki Odin. Kojiki Odin, father, you are not dead. Kojiki Sukiyaki, yeah. I was imprisoned by the Kurozumai Orokai, and after I finally escaped, you died. Kurozumai Orokai, you old dog, so you are still alive. Well, even if you are not dead, you are going to die soon. Kurozumai Orokai has already made up his mind. Once the viewing system is over, he will immediately lead his man to kill Kojiki Sukiyaki. Kaido, haha. This viewing system is really good. It helped us catch another remnant of the Kojiki clan. Kojiki Odin, Kaido, how dare you? Kaido, why am I afraid? Odin, you idiot, just obediently wait for the news of your father's death at Marine headquarters. At this time, Robin looked at Kojiki Sukiyaki and said, Mr. Tengu, Pluton, one of the 3 ancient weapons, is it on this country? Hearing this, Kojiki Sukiyaki showed shock on his face. Then Robin continued, you don't have to look at me so surprised, I got this information on the poneglyph. On a poneglyph in Alabasta. When he learned that Robin's information came from the poneglyph, Kojiki Sukiyaki was relieved. He nodded, yes, Pluton, is indeed in this country. Wow. When Kojiki Sukiyaki confirmed Robin's words, the whole chat room exploded. Kaido, ancient weapon Pluton is in Wanakuni. Charlotte Linlin, nanny? That guy Kaido actually guards such a good treasure. Crocodile, damn it, Nico. Robin. I knew you were lying to me. Nico. Robin. Jack, Governor, should we go back to Wanakuni immediately and look for Pluton? Kaido, that's right. There is a Pluton, why go to the Summit War to join in the fun? Let's go back to Wano. Ha ha ha. Kaido is currently bringing a few pirate ships to New World. He originally planned to go to the Summit War to join in the fun, but he met the Red Hair Pirates yesterday and was persuaded by the Red Hair Pirates, so he gave up the idea of going to Marine headquarters. He was thinking of finding a place to vent his anger, but didn't expect to encounter the confinement of the viewing system. Now that he knows the whereabouts of the Pluton battleship, Kaido can't wait to fly back to Wanakuni immediately. Shanks, Kaido, I'll go back with you, help you out. Kaido, get out. I don't welcome you. Shanks, Captain Roger, Pluton is of great importance. If it falls into the hands of someone like Kaido, it will be troublesome. I think I'll get the Pluton first. Gold Roger. Okay, little Shanks, I trust your judgment. St. J. Garcia Saturn. Kaido, keeping things like Pluton battleships in your own hands will only bring you endless troubles. Cooperate with the world government, we will keep the Pluton battleships safe. Kaido, damn it. Do you think I'm stupid? Whoever owns this kind of thing is equivalent to grasping the truth. Give it back to you, idiot. Shiki, gee ha 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 ha. Kong, Kaido, you are looking for death. Robin and Kojiki Sukiyaki were to go down, but found that Trafalgar Law came then. Under the leadership of Kojiki Sukiyaki, they passed through a channel and came to the depths of the seabed. Here, a road poneglyph appeared. Kojiki Sukiyaki introduced, even Kaido and Orokai don't know this secret path. But, because Jack the Drow is a fishman, so he brought other fishmen. He came down and found the poneglyph Kaido. Oh, now I know. Haha, Korozumai Orakai, this old thing actually hides so many things from us. This is the highland of the cave at the foot of Fuji Mountain. From here you can continue to go down. It is said that ancient weapon Pluton Pluto is sleeping there, but I have never seen it, and it is impossible to take it out. If you want to take out the Pluton, you must first eliminate the barriers surrounding the entire island. In other words, it means breaking the country's protective walls and liberating Wano. Kojiki Sukiyaki explained. Afterwards, the pirates spent a few days in Wanakuni and set sail again. Thousand Sunny sailed away from Wanakuni on the deck. Luffy is reading a newspaper. The latest bounty for 4 emperors appeared in the newspaper. Red Hair Shanks, Blackbeard Teach, Straw Hat Luffy, King of Clowns Buggy. The screen slowly dimmed. The screen disappears. Gold Roger, Little Buggy. Wow ha ha ha, Crocus, Nanny? Buggy also became 4 emperors. Edward Newgate, has the red-nosed guy who dared to challenge me to become the 4 emperors. Gecko Moria, this is too outrageous. That guy can become 4 emperors? Is this bounty a joke? Crocodile, although I also think it is outrageous, but the other 3 people in this bounty is correct, which means that the bounty is true. Don Quixote da Flamingo, Few Furfur. Looks like something big will happen in the future. Shucky, Red Hair, Buggy. You really deserve to be the twin stars of the Roger Pirates. In the future 2 years later, both of you become emperor. Gold Roger, haha. Little Buggy, Little Shanks, you really make me proud. Silver Rayleigh, it really made our Roger Pirates look good. At this time the screen with the red border gradually brightens up. The screen appears. On the surface of the cloud-shrouded sea, a gigantic figure slowly approached Thousand Sunny and the Jack pirate ship came to the waters of Wanakuni. Behind the 2 ships, the giant elephant also followed. Captain Luffy, there, you can enter the territory of Wanakuni by going up that waterfall. Jack Man reported nervously to Luffy. Luffy took a look at this waterfall. The water is very clear. It looks like river water, not sea water. He can clearly see that there are many big freshwater carp climbing along the waterfall with his eye. Joy Boy, as early as 800 years ago, the outside of this country was blocked by a circle of tall surrounding walls, and then the continuous accumulation of rainwater caused the place where this country originally lived to be submerged. This waterfall is formed because of the overflow of the river. At this time, the voice of Zoe came to Luffy's mind. A tall surrounding wall. Hearing this, Luffy looked at the tall cliff in front of him in surprise. At first glance, he thought it was a cliff. I didn't expect it to be a man-made surrounding wall. It seems that 800 years ago, there must have been a demon fruit power that could manipulate earth and rocks, otherwise, these surrounding walls would not have been so natural. Luffy thought to himself. Then, he asked Zoe, do you know the whereabouts of the Pluton? I saw information on the poneglyph, saying that the Pluton battleship is in Wanakuni. Zoe replied to Luffy, yes, as early as 800 years ago, the Pluton was placed in Wanakuni. It is also to keep the Pluton safe, so a barrier was built around Wanakuni. Luffy frowned slightly. You mean, the reason why Wanakuni is sealed off is to keep Pluton safe? Yes, Joy Boy replied Zoe. Since this is the case, let me open the barrier of Wanakuni. Luffy instantly entered Nika form. The reason why he came to Wanakuni is because he learned that Kaido has the poneglyph in his hands, and the other reason is that he wants to come here to find the Pluton. Luffy doesn't want such a terrifying weapon to exist in the world, so when he was in the capital of Water 7, knowing that Frankie had the blueprints for the Pluton battleship in his hands, he wanted it gone. Instead of having any greedy thoughts, he told Frankie and Icebug to destroy the blueprints for the Pluton. However, when such a thing really exists in the world, then Luffy will have to control it. Just like he brought little Shirahoshi out from the Fishman Island, it's not that he covets little Shirahashi's Poseidon power, but he doesn't want little Shirahashi's Poseidon power to be obtained by other people. Luffy wants to control the Pluton battleship in his hands, because Luffy can guarantee that he will not use the power of Poseidon and Pluton to do evil things, but he cannot guarantee that others will not do it. Therefore, it is necessary to secure, contain and protect the ancient weapon. Joy Boy, are you going to let Wanakuni be free? Feeling Luffy's mood swings, Zoe asked immediately. Yeah. The reason why this country closed is because of the Pluton. As long as I take the Pluton away with great fanfare and let the world government know the news, then even if the Wanakuni barrier disappears, there will be no more people cover it. Luffy explained with a smile. Zephyr, it makes sense. Gold Roger Red Border. Luffy is doing the right thing. It's better to believe in yourself than to believe that others to use the Pluton in the right way. Dare I say, if something like the Pluton falls into the hands of the world government, then Buster Call will be the stage for the Pluton in the future. Edward Newgate, Gururara. That's right. If there is such a thing, which country dares not listen to the words of the world government? Shiki, destroy the island with one shot. If this thing falls into the hands of us pirates, it will also make the world government obedient with us. Porghast Ace. Obviously, for Pluton ownership, Luffy is the most suitable. Kaido, hehe, now I am the most suitable, haha. Kojiki Odin, don't have such a wishful thinking. Even if the Pluton battleship falls into your hands, you can't use it. Only Joy Boy can control the Pluton battleship. Zoe recalled Luffy's words, and after a while, it said, Joy Boy, you are right. Okay, Zo, now I want to break down the barriers here. Since the horizon of ancient Wanakuni is normal, the amount of rainwater accumulated over the years will be a huge problem. Once I open this barrier, the river will have a huge impact. Zo, you now need to retreat to a safe distance. Frankie, control Thousand Sunny to dive below the seabed. Luffy steps into the sky, half of Buggy's body follows closely, grabbing Luffy in the air. However, Zo responded, no, Joy Boy, this matter. Please leave it to me. Please order me. Let me free the country for Wanakuni Nanny? You want to do it? Luffy said in surprise. Yes, Joy Boy, please order. Zo replied. Luffy pondered for a moment, then said, okay, then I order you to let Wanakuni free. Yes, Zo responded. He first used his big nose to dial Thousand Sunny behind him, then raised his huge nose, put it directly on the top of the waterfall, and inserted a section. The next moment, Zo's nose snapped and pulled, boom, waterfall burst. Already thinking about your next read? Hit like and keep exploring Infinite Novel. Chapter 196, Chapter 196 Kaido, where's my mace? Buggy, here it is. Kaido, Nanny? That's what Zo does. Charlotte Linland, Mamama. This nose is so exciting. If it sticks on my whole cake island, I'm afraid the island will be overturned. Kojiki Odin, it turns out that Wanakuni was founded in this way. Borsalino, if this is an attack on a warship at sea, I'm afraid no warship can stop it. Kuzan, warships? Why do you think highly of warships? With just this nose, it's useless for sea kings to come. Rocks D, Xebec, if you want me to say, this Zo itself is almost equivalent to an ancient weapon. Shiki, that's right. This attack power is too strong, and the defense power is also very strong. Boom, as Zo's nose opened a hole in the waterfall, the rolling river water poured out from the inside. Joy Boy, wait for a while, when the water level drops to the gap, I will continue to dig down. Zo voice heard into Luffy's mind. Okay, Luffy understands his meaning. Wanakuni. As soon as Zo lowered his nose, the whole Wanakuni immediately shook violently, as if an earthquake had occurred. What happened? Our Wanakuni is at such a high altitude, how could there be an earthquake? Not good. Look at the river water. Why did it suddenly increase so fast? It seems to be in the direction of the waterfall. Is there a problem with the waterfall? For a while, in various cities of Wanakuni, people discovered the sudden abnormality of the river water. Boss Kaido, there seems to be a sudden problem with the water flow. It is flowing towards the exit of the waterfall. Sasaki of Tobairapo reports to Kaido. At this time, a dragon figure flew in from the gate of the skeleton castle. As soon as he landed, King shouted with a bad face, Brother Kaido, it's bad. The water level in the entire Wanakuni is dropping rapidly. It should be that the surrounding wall of this country has been broken. Beasts pirates have been here for 20 years, so they naturally know the terrain of Wanakuni well. Even the ancient Wanakuni buried in the water, they all know it. At this time, a man rushed in a hurry, and when he saw Kaido, he quickly shouted, it's not good. Your Excellency Governor. The water level has dropped severely, and all our boats have gone down with the water surface. Now our island has completely become an isolated island in the sky. What? Hearing this, Kaido suddenly became sober. He stepped out quickly, transformed into a dragon and soared up. He flicked the dragon's tail, and the flame cloud surged all over his body, and he came to the edge of the island in the blink of an eye. In his vision, the water level around an island is several meters below the horizon of Onigashima Island. Those dozens of pirate ships are all on the water below. There are still a lot of pirates shouting on the deck of the ship, and these pirate ships are rushing forward with the current. Damn it. Faced with this situation, Kaido can only scratch his head. Without water and ships, except for a few people who have the ability to fly, no one else can leave the Onigashima Island. What's even worse is that the water level continues to drop. Once the entire water storage of Wanakuni flows away, the ground of ancient Wanakuni will be exposed. At that time, they can only transport the pirates of the Beasts pirates down one by one. Otherwise, with such a height, the pirates will definitely die if they fall. Damn! Which bastard did it? Kaido was to explode, and immediately flew forward. Charlotte Linland, I'm dying of laughter. The ship is gone, and the island has become a prison for the Beasts pirates. Mama. Charlotte Katakuri, if they jump into the water before the water level is too low, they will still be able to escape in time. However, there are also disadvantages, that is, they will be washed into the sea. Edward Newgate, most of Kaido's subordinates are Zoan Devil Fruit user, and they will finish diving in the water directly. If they don't jump, they can only be isolated on the island. Gurarara. Shiki, then can't the most powerful creature in the sea, land and air be used as a mount for his subordinates? Brother Kaido, don't want to lose face? Jahahaha. Buckingham Stussy, haha. Yes, absolutely not. Kaido, this idiot, why did he dig the island as soon as he came here? It's so outrageous. Seeing himself in such an embarrassing situation in the Red Border video, Kaido now wants to beat Luffy to death, doesn't have to guard Zo, so he and Buggy flew towards the inside of Wanakuni together. There are people living down there, it looks so dilapidated, let's go down and have a look. Come to the top of town. Luffy looked down and said. Buggy landed with Luffy. The people here look very poor. Luffy looked around, frowned and said. Looks like it's not just poverty, look over there. Buggy pointed to the right and said. Luffy looked over, and immediately saw the bones of two people. Judging from their physique, they should be an old man with a child that looks like he just died, but the flesh on the corpse has been cleaned by wild beasts. Luffy has nothing to do, so he asked a few civilians about the situation. These civilians are living a life without a meal, time is worthless to them, so when Luffy asked casually, these people started talking endlessly. After some understanding, Luffy finally understood why this town is so bad. It turns out that the pollution from the weapons factory of Beasts Pirates has polluted the land and the water source, making this land not only unable to grow food, but even the fish in the river are poisonous. And the farm, which grows clean food, is controlled by officials and pirates in the town, and only moldy food that is to expire will be sold to these people. Luffy and Buggy left starving town and went to Central Town. Mixed in the crowd, Luffy found that the life of the common people in this town is not much better. Only a few Wanakuni officials and pirates are the masters of this town, and other commoners are just their playthings at this time. A dragon flew over in the sky. That thing is a dragon, Observation Haki perceives Kaido, who just flew past, and Luffy said in doubt. Buggy nodded, it seems so. Let's go. Let's catch up and have a look. The two quickly take off in place. Kaido quickly flew to the edge of Wanakuni, and immediately saw a giant elephant pushing the wall with its trunk. Ah, damn it. It turned out to be you, bastard. Kaido was furious when he saw that Zo did all of this. Kaido one kills the giant elephant right now. Dragon breath. He opened his mouth and a dragon's breath spewed out directly blast towards Zo below. Feeling the crisis from Kaido, Zo reacted very quickly. It immediately raised its trunk to block the dragon's breath. It's just, the power of dragon's breath is not weak. Boom. Under the violent explosion, Zo's nose was immediately exploded, but Zo only injured a little bit. Under the howl of severe pain, Zo subconsciously took a step back. What? It's just such a small injury. Seeing that Zo's nose was not destroyed, Kaido became even more angry. He is the strongest creature in the sea, land and air, and the dragon's breath full of did not destroy Zo trunk. This is a great shame to Kaido. Rolling flames started to burn from Kaido's body. The flames are so thick that it's like flowing magma. Kaido raised his head suddenly, and was to dive down. Whoosh. But at this moment, a monstrous hand descended from the sky and grabbed his neck, throat. Kaido just feels that his breath is stagnant. Before he had time to react, this big hand grabbed him and rushed to the ground. Boom. Luffy slammed hard and knocked Kaido's head on the ground. What are you? Why did you attack Zo? Looking at the dragon-shaped Kaido on the ground, Luffy asked coldly. Luffy doesn't know Kaido is in dragon shape, but Kaido knows Luffy. Straw Hat Luffy. The moment Kaido saw Luffy, his eyes widened suddenly. Why did you appear here? Luffy frowned. You know me? Who are you? I am Kaido. With a roar, Kaido suddenly turned into a human form. Oh, it's you. After learning Kaido's identity, Luffy's expression also changed. What he saw and heard in Starving Town and Central Town just now made Luffy's impression of Kaido extremely bad. To put it bluntly, the situation of Kaido is similar to that of Doflamingo. They both want to occupy a country as their base camp, but Doflamingo can make the civilians of Dressrosa live a better life, and what Kaido? The civilians of Wanakuni are living in hell. Not to mention comparing with Doflamingo, even compared with Charlotte Linlin, who is also 4 emperors, Kaido is simply a monster. The same 4 emperors, why is the gap between the emperors so big? Bastard Straw Hat. Why are you destroying my territory? Kaido demanded. Your territory. Hearing this, Luffy suddenly laughed. Are you ashamed to say that this is your territory? Kaido suddenly had question marks on his face, and looked at Luffy in a daze. What do you mean? Isn't this the base camp of my Beasts Pirates? Bastard. Look at the territory under your rule. Are the civilians living the life that people should live? You can even see old people and children starving to death in the town. You bastard are not worthy of calling this your territory. Luffy landed in front of Kaido, staring at Kaido, with anger in his eyes. He is not a nosy person, but there are some things that he can't turn a blind eye to. Before in the sea area of Tado Land, although those civilians had to hand in 1 month of life to Charlotte Linlin regularly, but Charlotte Linlin was protecting them. If Luffy drives the big mom pirates away from the sea area of Tado Land, then the civilians in that sea area will usher in disaster and pain. And now, this Wanakuni Day, it already looks like a purgatory on earth. Even if people from this country are casually thrown into the sea, it will be more comfortable than being here. If Luffy drives the Beasts Pirates out of Wanakuni, the civilians of Wanakuni will have a better life. Based on such a premise, then, Luffy is willing to meddle in this business just like what he did in Alabasta. Ha 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 ha. Hearing Luffy's question, Kaido laughed wildly. He looked at Luffy with a playful look, and said mockingly, Straw Hat Boy, you are a pirate, do you love those scum and slaves? Ha 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 ha. Boom. Luffy punched out, and it landed on Kaido's face. In an instant Kaido didn't react, he was blown out immediately. Scum? Slave? Listening to what Kaido called the civilians of this country, Luffy immediately understood why the civilians of this country live a life like hell. Obviously, Kaido doesn't treat them as human beings at all. Just like Zephyr and Garp believe in the view that with great power come great responsibility, Luffy now also recognizes this idea too, but he will add a condition in front. The greater the power, the greater the responsibly. When Kaido said that sentence just now, Luffy had already decided. Kill Kaido. Ah! Dash suddenly sat up from the pile of rocks. Kaido rubbed his face, full of anger. Straw Hat Boy, you are courting death. Thunder Bagua. Lightning and energy ripples linger on his mace, and Kaido's figure suddenly rushes towards Luffy. Buggy's palm flew out and landed on Kaido's mace. The mace cracked into countless particles like fine sand. What? Where's my mace? Hand suddenly emptied. Kaido paused, his eyes widened in astonishment. As soon as he finished speaking, Buggy voice came from above his head. Here. Countless fine sand particles instantly regrouped into a mace in front of Buggy. then smashed towards Kaido with incomparable force. Chapter 197 Chapter 197 How did Kaido die? Boom! The recondensed mace hit Kaido's head intact, wrapping armament haki, but the strength is still not weak. Smashed Kaido and he staggered. Damn. You are Buggy. Being hit by Buggy, Kaido's complexion became unwell. He's not afraid of Buggy. Is the idea of facing Luffy and Buggy at the same time, which makes Kaido feel very troublesome. After the Summit War, Buggy can single out Admiral's strength, which has already changed with the fame of the Straw Hat Pirates. As for Straw Hat Luffy, that is the existence that can kill 5 elders. Facing these two people at the same time, even Kaido, who thinks he is the best in the world, will become calm and think, since you know my name, hurry up and kneel. Buggy can see that Kaido is retreating, so he deliberately said such arrogant words, wanting to anger him more. Die for me. Hearing that Buggy was so arrogant in front of him, Kaido was really fooled. He opened his dragon mouth, and immediately a mouthful of dragon breath brewed and exploded. Luffy instantly enters Nika form. 2 big hands stretched out instantly, grabbing Kaido's mouth fiercely. The 10 fingers are like a solid iron gate, closing Kaido's big mouth in an instant. Kaido's dragon breath that reached his mouth was actually suffocated in one gulp. Boom! There was a rumbling sound in Kaido's stomach. A lot of flames burst out from his nostrils and ears in a split second. Kaido was like a fire-breathing firework in the shape of a dragon. Charlotte Linlin, mama. Seeing Kaido's look, Charlotte Linlin was so happy from ear to ear. Edward Newgate Gururara. If there is any happy event in the future, if you need to set off fireworks, just ask Kaido to help. Gold Roger, haha, it makes sense. Not only does it not cost money, but it is also environmentally friendly. It kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Kaido, damn you all. Shiki, gee ha 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 ha. At the same time, Buggy held the mace with both hands, and the rich armament haki instantly covered it, and hit Kaido's dragon head with a ruthless blow. Thunder Bagua, that's what he said. Boom. Although there is no conqueror's winding, but under the entanglement of Buggy's advanced armament haki, the power of this mace is quite powerful. With 1 mace down, Kaido got out of Luffy's hand in an instant, and slammed into the forest in the distance. Wherever it passed, the trees collapsed and the earth and rocks burst. Buggy and Luffy didn't stop. They immediately outflanked the past from left to right, accompanied by a roar like a dragon chant. The dragon-shaped Kaido rises from the ground and goes straight to the sky. He tossed and turned in the air, looking down at Luffy and Buggy below. His face was full of anger. What? Are you going to run away? Buggy rubbed his chin, his tone full of disdain. Listening to Buggy's provocation, how can Kaido not understand what he want to do? Thinking for a while, Kafo roared angrily, damn it. I'll deal with you when I sobers up. Speaking, he flicked the dragon's tail, and his huge figure flew towards the Inagashima Island. Jack, boss, Kaido escaped. Momonga, it's really a bit outrageous. Have you never heard Kaido's running away? Borsalino, woo, this guy came to Marine headquarters to make trouble, but he did not escape. Gold Roger, if you haven't seen him escape, is it possible that you are too weak? Shiki, gee ha 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 ha. Roger is right. Look at Kaido over there. It is first time fighting someone stronger than him. Edward Newgate. Even if Buggy provokes him, he can only swallow his breath. Charlotte Linlin, it's just cowardly. Mama. Kaido, damn old woman, are you different? Charlotte Linlin, the old woman over there, had a great time talking with the red border Luffy. How can you compare? You get beaten when you come up. Mama. He fled. Buggy flew up to the sky to have a look, then landed. Forget it. Anyway, we will go to him later. Let's go and see how Zoe injury. Think it, Luffy fly with Buggy as Zoe stripped away the barriers around Wanakuni. Piece by piece Luffy and his team set foot on the ground of Wanakuni. Looking around, the ground is full of silt. The city that has been underwater for hundreds of years finally sees the sky again. The ancient ruins of Wanakuni are very large, and the Straw Hat Pirates have searched for a long time but have not found the whereabouts of the Pluton. At this time, Buggy pointed forward from the sky. Luffy, there is a big cave at the foot of the mountain over there. Let's go and see. In this place that has been dusty for hundreds of years, it is always full of mystery. To suddenly discover something like a cave with Buggy navigating in the air, a group of people soon came to this cave. However, it seems that this cave can no longer be called a cave. It should be called 10 halls at the bottom of the mountain. From the outside, the entrance of this cave is as high as 10 meters. Both sides of the cave are all kinds of reliefs related to the legend of Wanakuni. The architectural layout is also exquisite. Obviously, Wanakuni was definitely a very powerful country hundreds of years ago. It's amazing. There is such a country on the sea. This is the first time I've seen it. Little Shirahoshi floats next to Luffy with the help of the wind shell belt, looking around. Her sparkling eyes are full of all kinds of curiosity. Her words made everyone laugh. Ah ha ha. Little Shirahoshi, for you, it should be the first time to see anything except the Fishman Island. Ha ha. But speaking of it, in a situation like Wanakuni, it's also the first time we've seen it. Everyone laughs and walks forward. This cave seems to have a spacious and tall corridor. The Straw Hat Pirates walked a few hundred meters, and there was a set of carved steps in front of them. Climbing up the steps, the members of the Straw Hat Pirates came to a wider space inside the mountain wall poneglyph. As soon as they got here, Nami stared and exclaimed. Following Nami's little finger, everyone immediately saw an indoor space surrounded by a fence. On the open space, there is a red poneglyph. Nico Robin, huh? Isn't this the poneglyph that Kojiki Sukiyaki took me in law to find in the white border video just now? Kojiki Odin, indeed. But you came in from above, and red border Luffy and the others came in from below. Don Quixote da Flamingo, interesting. The way the videos on both sides enter here just connects the ancient Wanakuni and the current Wanakuni, making the geographical layout of Wanakuni clear at once. Furfur. Suru, why did the country suddenly close itself hundreds of years ago? How did these huge barriers of the country come into being? It seems that Wanakuni does hide many secrets. Momonga, and why is that giant elephant so familiar with the way of founding Wanakuni? Could it be that the person who sealed off Wanakuni hundreds of years ago is actually related to this giant elephant? Sengoku, your analysis makes sense. There must be some inextricable connection between this giant elephant and Wanakuni. Great! With this piece of road sign history text, we have collected 3 road sign poneglyph, and we are only short of the last one. Then we can go to Raftel. Confirming that the poneglyph in front of them is the road sign poneglyph, Buggy couldn't help getting excited. More than 20 years ago, he once headed towards Raftel with the Roger Pirates. At that time, he and Shanks were only teenagers, but they were already only a short distance away from the final island that all pirates dreamed of. It can be said that they were really high-spirited at that time. In the end, because Buggy suddenly fell ill, he had to disembark for treatment, and Shanks resolutely gave up the opportunity at his fingertips, and chose to stay and take care of Buggy for the sake of his deep friendship. Failed to see Raftel, Buggy is actually very sad and regretful. He thought it would be impossible in his lifetime, but until he met Luffy everything seems to be back on the right track again. And now, Raftel seems to be very close again. Robin starts to translate the poneglyph. Luffy is using the ability of voice of all thing to listen to this road sign poneglyph. After listening to the narration of the poneglyph, Luffy looked at everyone. I know where the Pluton battleship is stored. Really? I can finally see the warships made by the top craftsman 800 years ago with my own eyes. Frankie was overjoyed. He raised his arms high, leaning towards the sky. Super. Usopp also showed an eager expression. Then let's go and see this Pluton now. Wow. Chopper's 2 eyes are also glowing with stars. Luffy shook his head. Don't worry. Let's solve the trouble above first. Otherwise once the Pluton comes out, and he takes the opportunity to take it, it will be bad. His impression of Beast's pirates is extremely bad. He didn't chase after Kaido just now. That's because the main business has not been finished. Now that Luffy already knows the location of the Pluton battleship, and it is still in a very safe location, he is naturally not in a hurry. Beast's pirates? Indeed, this pirate group should be wiped out. Recalling the tragedy he saw with Luffy just now, Buggy nodded in agreement. However, our current location is far from the current Wanakuni ground. Let Frankie connect everyone with movable ropes, and I will take you up all at once, Buggy said. No need, there is a passage there. Luffy pointed to the top of a wall in the front right. Buggy flew over and searched on the wall, and sure enough, opened a moving stone. Nami's eyes light up. Wow, there really is. Luffy, how do you know? This poneglyph told me. Luffy reached out to the poneglyph at this time. Robin also finished translating. She smiled. Your ability is really convenient. Brother Luffy, I can't seem to fit in. Looking at the square hole in the wall, Shirahoshi showed a bitter expression on her little face. Luffy nodded, then looked at Sanji. Usopp, Frankie, you stay and protect Shirahoshi. Others follow me. Once it is completely confirmed that the Beast's pirates are a scourge, Luffy will not have any idea of showing mercy. It's enough to have Usopp protect Princess Shirahoshi? Take me too, I can provide assistance. Frankie obviously didn't want to be a boring bodyguard, so he immediately asked Luffy to fight. No, you have more important things to do. You and Usopp take Princess Shirahoshi to find the Pluton first, and after that you can join. Luffy came to Frankie, approached his ear, and whispered, the location of the Pluton is. Hearing Luffy tell the location of the Pluton battleship, Frankie suddenly became excited for him. His romance is giant ship and cannon. Assigned such a task by Luffy, he clenched his fist excitedly. Don't worry, I promise to find the Pluton battleship intact. Suddenly seeing Chopper again, Luffy said, by the way, Chopper, you can go with Usopp and Frankie too. Anyway, we don't need your help in the frontal battlefield. You go and help them. Okay, that's great. Chopper is Frankie's loyal mech fan, and he readily agreed upon hearing this. Then, Luffy looked at the hole above and waved his hand. Let's go. Kaido, hey. What the hell are they whispering? Idiots. Crocodile, damn. Such important information has not been released. Kojiki, Oden, great. In this way, Kaido will not be able to find the Pluton battleship in a short time, and I will have time to rush back after the Summit War. Don Quixote da Flamingo, it's better if you don't say it. Phew fur. In this way, many pirates will turn their attention to Wanakuni. Things will become more interesting. Phew fur. Ding. Enter the prize-winning quiz session. At this moment, a quiz appeared on the screen. Question, how did Kaido die? A. Smashed to death by Luffy's fist. B. Severed by Zoro's sword. C. Burned to death in lava. D. Drinking juice and exploding to death. E. He got so angry that he died of heart attack. Chapter 198. Chapter 198. With Zoro's sword, the God Clan ends. Shiki, pft, jahahaha, Charlotte Linlin, mama, Buckingham Stussy, hey Edward Newgate, Gururera. The moment they saw this question, the people in the chat room couldn't hold back. The question shows that Kaido is doomed. The answer hasn't been announced yet, and he has already been sentenced to death by the viewing system. Kaido, damn it. Red border Luffy, that bastard, did he kill me? Gold Roger, look at all the good things you did in Wanakuni, isn't it okay to kill you? Kojiki Oden, bastard Kaido, you died well. Red border Luffy is doing a good thing. Sakazuki, red border Luffy did it right this time. A bastard pirate like Kaido deserves to die long time ago. Shiki, cut. Akainu, right? Look at your face. If you want to kill Kaido, why don't you do it yourself? Why do you have the face to say that Kaido should have died long ago? Buckingham Stussy, he wouldn't dare. Haha, Edward Newgate, Magma Kid is just as good at barking. Countdown to answer the question. 10 Borsalino, woo. I'm just quarreling. I'm answering the question Sakazuki, choose for yourself. Kyuzin, at first glance, this question looks like C, but when I think it again, it shouldn't be the style of Red Border Luffy. Kojiki Odin, I choose E. Gold Roger, reverse thinking again. Kojiki Odin, yes. Shiki, this E is too nonsense, impossible. 6-5 Sengoku, I choose D. Gold Roger, Sengoku, are you going to die? Shiki, G ha 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 ha. After answering the question this time, Sengoku will not be die, right? Edward Newgate, Gururara. Very likely. Suru, let me choose A. Nico Robin, I choose D2. Monkey D, Luffy, then I will choose D2. Frankie, Nanny? Why D? Monkey D, Luffy, I don't know. I chose with Robin, Nico Robin, I also chose blindly. At a glance, this option D is unreasonable and maybe it's reasonable. Kid Eustace, I think it is A. I choose A. Marco, pick A. 1-0 with the end of the countdown to answer the question. The Red Border video continued to play. Luffy and his group entered the square hole above. Here is a ladder 3 meters high. The ladder extends upwards in multiple zigzags. When the members of the Straw Hat Pirates opened the uppermost stone slab, they appeared in a basement here. Another piece of poneglyph is placed. Another piece of poneglyph. It seems our luck is very good this time. Robin's face was full of joy. She took out a small notebook and started translating and copying it. Luffy walked over and listened carefully with the ability of voice of all thing. After a while, after Robin finished translating, everyone came to the surface. This is the interior of a main hall. After Luffy and others came out, they saw that the style of the building was Torii style, and it said Palace City. Ha! Isn't this the place we saw from the sky before? Luffy looked at the Palace City, and immediately looked at Buggy. Buggy also laughed. Yeah, it seems that the woman didn't lie to us. This Palace City should really be the general's residence of the kingdom more than 20 years ago. Let's go. Let's go to the Inagashima Island and kill Kaido. Luffy smiled, and then let Buggy take everyone to take off in place before coming. Buggy's feet have been given to Frankie for safekeeping, so he can fly around it while crossing the canyon that used to be a river. The Straw Hat Pirates appeared above the Inagashima Island. Who? Ah, yes, that person is a Straw Hat. Luffy, not good. Enemy attack. Seeing the appearance of the Straw Hat Pirates, on the square in front of the skeleton castle, the pirates shouted in horror. Damn it. Straw Hat Boy, you really dare to come. Kaido let out a roar, and rushed out of the skeleton castle. He appeared with Beasts Pirates 2 Calamity/2 All-Star King and Queen besides them. There are Page 1 and Sasaki from Tobai Rappo. As for the other cotters, they are still at sea right now. I should be asking you this question? Do you really dare to stay here? Luffy looked at Kaido with a stern face, and sneered. Hee hee, Straw Hat Boy. Who do you think you are? Now that you've arrived on this island, stop dreaming. While speaking, Kaido's body was full of flames, and he flew out crazily. These flame clouds seemed to have life, and they quickly sow around the lonely peak of Ghost Island. Boom! They saw a violent vibration in the island of ghosts. It's as if someone broke this lonely peak hard. Then amidst the panicked screams of the pirates, Inagashima Island was forcibly pulled out from the mountain below and took off on the spot. Shiki, Kaido, do you like imitating me so much? Seeing the Kaido in the screen flying the Inagashima Island into the air with the flame cloud, and thinking that the Kaido in the White Border video just now did the same thing, Shiki couldn't help but feel funny. Gold Roger, haha. He can only imitate. Unlike you can make an island fly with one hand. Charlotte Linlin, ah ha ha ha. Kaido is dying to save face and suffer. Can't you fight well? You have to do these messy things. Kaido, old woman, go to hell. The Inagashima Island over there has become a lonely peak. I did that obviously to bring the Inagashima Island to the mainland of Wanakuni, so that my pirate group can get out of isolation. Rocks D, Xebec, haha, Kaido boy. That's a really good idea. Edward Newgate, however, I think that Kaido over there thinks too much, and his method should not be successful. Gururara. Boom! Under the support of the flame cloud, the Inagashima Island soared into the sky and flew in the direction of the capital of flowers. The current Wanakuni is built on the mountainside of Fujiyama, and Onishima is on a branch of Fujiyama. Luffy looked at the Inagashima Island that just flew above the canyon, and a strange look appeared in his eyes. This, isn't it just right? Suddenly, Luffy looked at Nami. Nami, let his flame cloud lose his history. At the same time, Luffy's arms stretched left and right, and they all tied knots on the partners. Buggy understood, and flew up with Luffy. Nami put both hands on the ground and shouted, smooth smooth fruit awakening. The next moment, Nami flew up under Luffy's arm. Nami, awakening? Hey, the me over there, have the fruits been developed to the point of awakening? Don Quixote da Flamingo Few Furfur. Don't be surprised, fruit awakening is not easy to say, and it is not difficult to do. As long as your body, mind, and will are enough to match your current ability, then the conditions for awakening are met. Vinsmoke Sanji, the awakening of the Paramecia devil fruit can affect the surrounding environment, so how does the smooth fruit affect it? Rorono Zoro, stupid cook, can you see with your eyes? Vinsmoke Sanji, asshole moss head, you talk too much. Ah. Nami, have you awakened your fruit ability? Robin next door to Nami asked in surprise. He. After my fruit is awakened, as long as it is something I can see, I can directly endow it with my smooth ability remotely, and it can also be transmitted through the things I endowed with smooth ability, Nami said with a smile. Her fruit ability awakening happened a few days ago, and she only told Luffy this matter. Now, the entire Inagashima Island has been endowed with smooth ability by her, and it instantly becomes an island with zero friction. Not only that, the flame cloud around the Inagashima Island is also affected, endowed with the power of smooth ability. And the result of this is, Inagashima Island swishes down from the flame cloud with a loud roar. Inagashima Island slammed heavily into the canyon between the Wanakuni mainland and the original location of Inagashima Island. Some little pirates with low strength were killed on the spot. The rest are also seriously injured. Seeing that the pirate group that he has worked hard for many years is on the verge of being wiped out by this fall, Kaido is so angry that he almost spurts blood. He wanted to bring the Beast's pirates out of the isolation state, but it turned out to be a mistake, and he was the only man left. Oh no, there is also King, who is slowly flying up with Queen. The Straw Hat Pirates landed collectively on the cliff where Inagashima Island was before. Get rid of them. In Luffy's eyes, there's no need to wait. Get rid of the opponent early, and it will be convenient for them to liberate the Pluton battleship later. Give those two to me. Zoro stepped on the moonwalk and rushed out with a whoosh. Leave Kaido to me. Buggy flew out, approaching Kaido. In his hand, he is holding Kaido's mace 2 sword style Nanahaya Kunijo Pound Ho. Zoro make his move as a swordsman, feeling the aura brought by Zoro's sword. King immediately understood that he must go all out to defend against this sword attack, otherwise, he may not even have the chance to life. At this time, King can't help Queen. As soon as he let go, Queen fell down. Just leave it to me. Seeing this, Sanji stepped on the moonwalk and flew up. Devil Jet Feet Bone Crushing Juicer. Kicked the air violently. Sanji's foot rubbed against the air violently, creating a strong flame. His whole body is like a spinning top, heading towards the falling Queen. Boom! In a flash, Sanji kicked Queen at a very fast speed. Puff! Queen couldn't dodge, and immediately squirted a mouthful of flesh mixed with internal organs. His body turned into a V shape, and then he smashed into the ruins of Inagashima Island below with a rapid acceleration. Boom! Fujiyama shakes violently. As for Zoro, his move fell. King is instantly covered himself with armament haki. At the same time, a group of flames blazed behind him. This is the talent of the Lunaria tribe. When the flames burn, they will have almost invincible defense. Brush! Zoro's 2 sword fell down. King face suddenly show painful expression. This sword will still damage him in the end. The flame behind him goes out, but battle is not a turn-based game. After the enemy makes a move, they will not wait for the other to make a move. Zoro was a little surprised that he failed to kill King. However, as an excellent swordsman, he will not be overly distracted by such things. 2 style. His figure instantly approached King's back again, and the sharp sword carried a terrifying killing intent. At this moment, King couldn't continue to ignite his flames, so he could only flap his wings and soar into the sky in an instant, to avoid Zoro's blow. Sounds from the east to the west. Gods in Buddha's fall. Zoro makes a low shout. At the same time his sword pierced King's back. The sword in his left hand was thrown upward, and at this time when King rushed to the sky to find the only escape route, Zoro attack burst out with terrifying power and crashed into him. Puff! The attack is like a flash of lightning across the sky, piercing King back and flying out from his chest. This powerful force made King body suddenly turn into a bow towards the sky. Feeling the rapid decline of life, King knows that his life has come to an end. He pulled off his mask and looked at Luffy from afar. Joy boy. After meeting Luffy's gaze, a sad smile appeared on the corner of King's mouth. The next moment, the little flame that was constantly struggling behind his back suddenly went out. Chapter 199. Chapter 199. Force feeding Kaido. It's useless for Kaido to break his throat. King, I'm dead. Queen, I don't think I can survive. Jack, 2 big brothers, I over there die before you. Charlotte Linlin, King, death is really simple. Shiki, the main reason is that the Straw Hat Pirates over there are too strong. Marco, what's the meaning of that smile that King have when he looked at Red Border Luffy at the end? King, do you know what's going on? King, not only do I know, I also feel the same. Now that I am the only survivor of the Lunaria clan, there is no need to keep hiding it. If you know history, everyone in the world should know that our Lunaria tribe used to be a kingdom of gods living in the Red Continent. King, as for the process, I don't need to elaborate. But I have always believed in the legend of Joy Boy, and believed that Joy Boy can change the world. But my belief could not persist. But now, Joy Boy really appeared. The me over there must be the same as me, because I stood on the opposite side of Joy Boy. I felt helpless in pain. Kaido, King, follow Joy Boy, I won't blame you. King, stop talking, brother Kaido. From now on, I will only be the embers of the Beast's pirates. No matter whether Joy Boy appears or not, I only believe in you to change the world. Shiki, you believe that he can change the world, doesn't mean you believe that the iron tree can bloom. Gold Roger, pft, ha ha ha. This King is so stupid that he wants to follow Kaido with all his heart. How innocent. Edward Newgate, King is not a fool. I believe he has already seen that Kaido is not that kind of person. He should just think that the path he chose, you want to walk his path until the end. Charlotte Linlin, Mamama. Whitebeard, you still see clearly. Borsalino, woo, so he is a fool. Seeing King being killed by Zoro, Kaido's eyeballs are to burst out of their sockets. Let's consider your own situation first. Buggy split into 2 halves, each holding a mace covered with armament haki, constantly attacking Kaido from left and right. Although he didn't gain the upper hand against Kaido, but he didn't lose either. At this time, Luffy won't hold himself and he took the initiative to attack. Zoro and Sanji also surrounded Kaido. Robin then assist from behind. Nami's long-range smooth power assist can assist partners and can also restrict Kaido. Brook played the fearless pirate to cheer them on. Kaido, damn it, this is not fair. Seeing himself in the video facing the siege of the Straw Hat Pirates at the same time, Kaido scolded Gol D Roger, haha. Why didn't you talk fairness with Odin when you used conspiracy and tricks to deal with him? Now you see yourself being besieged and beaten and then you call for fairness? Kaido, damn it. Odin is an idiot and deserves it. Kojiki, Odin, idiot. Now you over there are being beaten up. You are too trash. You deserve it. Kaido, idiot. Brook, why is it that my role is just to play music for everyone when my friends are fighting? Seeing his friends fighting, while he was playing music and singing, Brook felt numb because in the previous battle, he was also like this. Nami, ahaha, isn't this great? Luffy has been looking for musicians to join us. Musicians are the main performers, Usopp, hahaha. Roronoa Zoro, the red border Luffy over there didn't mention looking for musicians, but since Brook joined the group, he perfectly do what a musician should do in the group. Frankie, hahaha. Supper. Luffy turns on Nika form, enlarges and stretches both arms, one grabs the dragon head, the other grabs the dragon tail, and pulls Kaido into a straight line. Then the other partners in the Straw Hat Pirates attacked Kaido off. Damn Straw Hat boy, let me go. I will never spare you. Kaido howled in pain, and howled angrily. Although he is controlled by Luffy, as the strongest creature in the sea, land and air, his body's defense and resilience are amazing. Even if there are so many people in the Straw Hat Pirates, it's just blood spilled. There was no fatal injury. What's the situation? What is this guy's body made of? We attack him so hard, and he healed so quickly. Sanji looked at the place where he kicked Zoro slashed with his sword. Although it left a wound on Kaido's body, it still couldn't kill him. He frowned and said, is the awakening Zoan Devil Fruity really be so outrageous? Buggy said in a deep voice, no. It's not just the power of Zoan Devil Fruit Awakening, but also Kaido's own talent. His talent plus the ability of Zoan Devil Fruit Awakening complement each other. This is how he created the body of the most powerful creature in the sea, land and air. This is really outrageous. Seeing this, Luffy also launched an attack. He grabbed Kaido's dragon neck with one hand, and kept bombarding Kaido's head with the other. Kaido's head is buzzing, but he still doesn't look like he's to be beaten to death. I really don't believe it. Seeing this, Luffy let go of Kaido, and then jumped into the sky. Gomu Gomu no Bajra gun. He punched down from the clouds. His fist was as big as the Inagashima Island armament haki and Conqueror's haki wrapped around it. Damn! Seeing such a big fist above his head, Kaido's face changed drastically. There are so many Straw Hat Pirates around him who are besieging him, and Luffy's attack appeared above his head again. Blazing Bagwan. His figure suddenly hovered in the low altitude, and several strong hurricanes burst forth. He quickly shuttled back and forth among the members of the Straw Hat Pirates, allowing the other members of the Straw Hat Pirates to attack him non-stop. Borsalino, woo, this trick is really clever. As long as you get mixed up with the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates, red border Luffy's fist can't be avoided. Vinsmoke Sanji, I remember that Luffy on our side just used this Bajra gun as the last attack to drive Kaido into the underground. Robin, yeah. Kaido over there must have also felt the power of this punch is terrible, so he used the rest of us as his coverage. Even if Kaido over there is still full of energy, once he takes this punch, he will be defeated. Shiki, idiot Kaido, compared to you over here, you over there seem like a coward. Kaido, you idiot, can't you see that the situation on the two sides is different? Surrounded by strong fighters from the Straw Hat Pirates, if I still choose to take the punch from red border Luffy, is it not stupid? Rocks D, Xebec, ha ha ha. You are right. Luffy is in the air, overlooking the scene below. This Bajra gun has been unable to pinpoint Kaido and the partners have been deliberately scattered to the surroundings, but Kaido is stalking them relentlessly. Damn it. Since you can't hit all of them, I'll wipe you off. Looking at his partners trying their best to create an attacking space for him, Luffy's fist finally dropped. Boom. This punch hit against Kaido's half body. Kaido screamed. Under this strong edge friction, his body violently rotated in the air. Luffy grabbed Kaido, and then hit Kaido hard on the ground like a long whip. Just when Luffy was fighting Kaido, Buggy suddenly came to Zoro, said something, and then left. First afterwards, Kaido struggled out from Luffy and continued to entangle with everyone. He already wants to escape, but under the siege of the Straw Hat Pirates, he has nowhere to go. And the Straw Hat Pirates want to defeat him. It seems that it is not something that can be done, although the buff of Luffy's dual battle drum should be able to kill Kaido in seconds with a high probability, but there is no need. Then after fighting back and forth, Buggy came back, and he brought a huge package. He threw it on the ground, and they saw a lot of man-made devil fruits rolling out of it. Before he and Luffy flew to Wanakuni to check in advance, they discovered the weapon processing factory and man-made devil fruit warehouse. Seeing the man-made devil fruit rolling all over the floor, Nami opened her mouth wide. Buggy, what are these? I don't know if it will work or not, let's try it first. Speaking, Buggy snapped his fingers. The devil fruits have all been touched by him before. Now under his snapping fingers, it automatically flies up, all shattered into small particles like fine sand. Let's go together. Open Kaido's mouth. I'm going to pour all these artificial devil fruits into him. At this time, Buggy expressed his thoughts. Queen Nanny? That bastard, he wants to use the principle of devil fruit to deal with Kaido. Boss. Gol D Roger, huh? Don't tell me, this is really a very smart solution. Shanks, although these are man-made devil fruits, Zoan's devil fruits all have their own will, and these man-made devil fruits should have more or less the same. If this is the case, maybe Buggy's method can really succeed. Sakazuki, if he can succeed, then we Marine can also learn from it. Kaido, learn from your mom. Damn Buggy. CN Fleur imprisonment cage. Robin crossed her hands. It consumes a lot of physical strength, and instantly opened thousands of arms on Kaido's body, grabbing each other and binding Kaido firmly. Zoro and Sanji launched a fierce attack on Kaido at the same time, trying to make him have no time to look around. Brook's hypnosis song, forced into a line, poured into Kaido's ear. Luffy rushed directly into Kaido's mouth, grabbed the upper mouth with both hands, stepped on the lower mouth with both feet, and opened Kaido's mouth abruptly. Kaido, let you try my latest moves. Artificial devil fruit juicing shot. Under the control of Buggy, the fine sand particles of these man-made devil fruit twisted into a swirling torrent in the air. Fruit particles collide with each other, rub against each other, and get together. The probability of success of artificial devil fruit is 1/10, and there are at least 200 artificial devil fruits here. In other words, at least 20 of them have real effects. Seeing that Buggy is going to feed him this thing, Kaido fights wildly and roars, let it in. Buggy pointed his finger, and the torrent of artificial devil fruit juice poured into Kaido's mouth. Ah woo, gilu gilu. With Luffy opening his mouth, Kaido can't stop it at all. Okay, Luffy, Buggy yelled. Luffy suddenly jumped out of Kaido's mouth. Vomit. Kaido suddenly churns in his stomach and is to vomit. This is not because he intentionally induced vomiting, but because the artificial devil fruit tastes equally bad. This is the juice squeezed from more than 200 man-made devil fruits. Its taste can never be imagined. Don't try to spit it out. Seeing this, Luffy enlarged his palms and immediately grabbed Kaido's mouth. The body is also enlarged, riding on Kaido's body, pressing Kaido to the ground. His 10 fingers are like iron clamps to lock Kaido's mouth firmly. Kaido wants to say something, but the voice can't come out of his mouth. Luffy chuckled. This is on the cliff of a Nagashima island. No one will hear you even if you yell out your throat. Hee Chapter 200. Chapter 200. The Straw Hat Boy and I are tied for number 1 in the world. Kaido, these bastards. Shiki, from the screen, it seems that you are more like a beast, right? Jahahaha. Rocks D. Xebec, poor little Kaido. Charlotte Linlin, wahahaha. It's so miserable. Gol D. Roger, I can't bear to look directly. The Straw Hat Pirates swarmed up, and everyone used their strength to push Kaido to the ground. Kaido's body shape shrank sharply, and he returned to his human shape in a blink of an eye. His eyes rolled upwards, foaming at the mouth, and violently twitched. Boom. A goat's head protrudes from his shoulders. 7 foxtails sprang out from Kaido's belly. Quack. 2 dogs grow up behind Kaido. Not only that, Kaido's face does not become very weird. They saw him giggly. Killer, that smirk, is the negative effect of artificial devil fruit after taking it. In the white border video before, Killer became a joker when he appeared on the stage. He was forced by Kaido with a man-made devil fruit, and the result was tragic. Capone Big. It seems that man-made devil fruit is also effective for Kaido. Jewelry Bonnie, not only does it have an effect, but the effect is also very obvious. So many messy animal features on his body, it should be the successful effect of man-made devil fruit. Vinsmoke Sanji, that's right. The effects of failure and the effects of success are all piled up on him. Kaido, damn Straw Hat Pirates. I will never spare you. Gol D. Roger, ha. Kaido, you are being wishful thinking. Almost all members of the Straw Hat Pirates here have received rewards from the system. Do you think you can do anything to get them? Edward Newgate. Roger, what you said made Kaido feel very embarrassed. Gururera. Charlotte Linlin, let's see if Kaido died from drinking juice? Mama. Sengoku, Kaido must die because of this, it must be D. Sengoku chose D this time, and seeing that the plot is developing according to his imagination, he is already trembling with excitement. As for why Sengoku chose D? Because he has dealt with Kaido so many times, he knows that killing Kaido is almost impossible. And option D seems nonsense, but if he think it carefully, he will find that the possibility is very high. Gol D. Roger, why is Sengoku so excited? Did this old man choose D? Shiki, you're right, he just chose D. And Straw Hat also chose D. Hey, Kaido smirked again and again and cursed, Straw Hat Boy, he, I fights with you, he. Seeing that Kaido's body becomes strange, the friends of the Straw Hat Pirates immediately let go of Kaido, and retreated quickly. After all, if Kaido explodes and dies, no one wants to be sprayed with his messy things. Kaido stands up twistedly, he takes a step towards Luffy. Half python emerges from his leg. Hippo's ass appeared on Kaido's face. Stab. The crocodile's mouth appears on Kaido's wrists, like arm guards. Kaido walked towards Luffy full of hatred, but his movements became difficult, as if his consciousness was gradually being taken away. Damn. He get out. He. Stop talking in my head. He. He is holding his head, shaking it left and right. In great pain, he only felt that there were countless voices arguing and screaming in his mind. These voices seemed to occupy Kaido's body and become the master of his body. Kaido's physical abnormality stopped, he became more painful. He squatted down slowly, his body writhing incessantly. Subsequently, a small-scale explosion appeared on the surface of his body. Starting from the positions of the various animal features that popped up, one after another. Explosion was like a chain reaction, setting off a bloody storm on too many bodies. In a blink of an eye, Kaido has turned into a bloody beast. Is he dead? Zoro frowned slightly, feeling a little horrified seeing this scene. Luffy was also horrified. He said to his friends, you all spread out, I will beat him with the Badra gun. Suddenly, Luffy jumped into the air. The rest of the Straw Hat Pirates retreat quickly. This time, they made enough room for Luffy. And because Kaido seems to have lost his sense of self, it is impossible to avoid this blow from Luffy. Luffy jumped into the air. Gear 5 Nika transformed Goma no Badra gun. Sengoku, no. Sengoku's head is to explode seeing Luffy using the Badra gun again in the screen. In the white border video before, when Luffy and Kaido were fighting to the last moment, Luffy used this move to punch Kaido directly into the magma layer. Although we don't know what happened to Kaido in the lava, but, if he fell into the lava in that comatose state, there is a high probability that he will die. And now, the red border Luffy in the red border video is also using the same move. And the Kaido there is dying in this case, Luffy's attack can definitely kill Kaido directly. In this case, the correct option would be Luffy punching Kaido to death. Not only did Sengoku not get rewarded, but he will be punished pain. Who knows the pain of Sengoku? Gol D Roger, look at it, I said you're going to cheat Luffy the Straw Hat, don't you believe it? Now you see it? Because you chose D, the answer changed. Nico Robin, hey, it doesn't look like D Tsuru. If you look at it this way, then I got the answer right. Monkey D Garp, congratulations. Tsuru Gol D Roger, congratulations. Tsuru Shiki, congratulations. Tsuru, huh? Do I know you too? Edward Newgate, Gururera. Familiarity is not important, what is important is that Sengoku is getting old again. We are happy. Charlotte Linlin, mama. Luffy's fist emerges from the clouds, it is covered by armament haki and Conqueror's winding. This is like a punch from a small island, falling from the sky. Just then, Kaido's body exploded. In the battle of so many Zoan man-made devil fruits wills, Kaido's strong bodies finally couldn't bear it without any warning, it just exploded suddenly. Smooth air slide. Nami immediately activates the fruit awakening, hands facing forward they saw that there seemed to be an invisible barrier in the air. When Kaido's flesh and blood sprayed over, it seemed to have slipped out of thin air, and they all flew towards the other hay. Luffy was to land a punch but suddenly saw that Kaido was gone. He had no choice but to forcibly twist his body, and then cancel his fist. Sengoku, good. Seeing this scene, Sengoku yelled like crazy. Sengoku, damn, Kaido. You are my lucky charm, haha. Ha. After confirming that Kaido died by self-explosion, Sengoku was the happiest. Even through the chat room of the viewing system, everyone can clearly feel the excitement of Sengoku. Kaido, damn it, Sengoku, you're an asshole. Listening to what Sengoku said, Kaido was so angry that his heart would explode. The anger instantly rises, and the brain is buzzing. Shiki, gee ha. Sengoku is so excited, it's almost incoherent. Gol D Roger, Sengoku, what are you proud of? Even if you get the answer right, will you be rewarded 15 years younger? What? Sengoku was so excited that he couldn't help himself, but when he heard Roger's words, he suddenly lose his excitement. Sengoku, damn. You don't need to worry this Roger. Bastard. Edward Newgate, it's better to reward Sengoku with an ability that needs to consume life to activate, that would be perfect. Charlotte Linlin, ahaha. This is good. Whitebeard, you really care for Sengoku. Edward Newgate, Gururera. Ding. Those who answered wrongly in this award-winning quiz will be punished. Kojiki Odin, deprived of the right to answer questions in the next round, deducting 3 months of Loge Tsuru, the right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and 4 months and 9 days of life will be deducted. Kid Eustace, deprived of the right to answer questions in the next round, deducting 4 months and of life. Marco, the right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and life will be deducted 2 months. At this moment, the punishment for the wrong answer came according to this situation. The reward is coming soon. Sengoku held his breath, he didn't dare to take a breath. His heart cried out silently. 15 years younger. He need to be 15 years younger. He already has a very powerful ability reward, but his age is also 3 years older with his current state. No matter how powerful item he is given, he may not be able to use it well, but if it give him 15 years younger, it will be different. He can almost return to peak fighting power. Coupled with the Great Dragon Robe, his strength is definitely at the forefront. Ding! The top 3 correct participant in this quiz are Sengoku, Nico Robin, and Monkey D, Luffy. Congratulations to the 3, for getting the rewards. Congratulations to Sengoku, 15 years younger. Congratulations to Nico Robin, reward Bloodline Limit with style. Congratulations to Monkey D, Luffy, reward Armament Haki full level experience pack. Sengoku, it's coming, ha, it's coming, it's really coming. Ha, I'm also 15 years younger. Gol D Roger, crazy, this old man is so happy. Shiki, that's right, he's 12 years younger all of a sudden, of course he's happy. Sengoku, Golden Lion, are you illiterate? God, it is 15 years younger. Shiki, didn't you accumulatively deduct 3 years of your lifespan? Edward Newgate, Gururera. Sengoku, humph. You're so smart, right? The old man is in great shape now. You wait for me, once the viewing system stop, I will let you experience it. Shiki, oh, you really scared me to death. Jahahaha. Ding! Because Bloodline Limit with style is a magical thing from Otherworld, special remarks are made with style remarks. The 5 basic escape techniques are water style, fire style, earth style, wind style, lightning style. The fusion of water style and earth style will produce with style. Vinsmoke Sanji, amazing. Robin Chan got a reward too. And it's the same reward as a Marine Admiral. Seeing that Robin was rewarded, Sanji was very excited. In this way, all the partners of the Straw Hat Pirates will be strengthened. Even after this movie viewing system is over, the world government wants to kill Luffy, the Straw Hat Pirates will definitely have the power to resist. Nico Robin, this seems to be a very powerful ability. Monkey D, Luffy, it turns out that this is Armament Haki. Hardening, Entanglement, Attack Power, External Release, Internal Destruction. There are so many powerful abilities. Marco, Straw Hat Boy, it's not that Armament Haki has so many powerful abilities, but because the viewing system rewards you with a full level Armament Haki, so it appears you discover so many powerful abilities. For a normal person, armament hacking needs to be trained bit by bit to gradually become stronger. It takes a lot of talent and hard work for ordinary people to cultivate armament hacking to an intermediate level. Those who can cultivate armament hacking to an advanced level are all the best in the sea. But for Luffy, from a guy who has never practiced armament hacking, he has become the master of full-level armament hacking. It's hard not to be envious and jealous Yozu. In other words, from now on, Straw Hats Luffy and I are tied for #1 in the world for armament hacking mastery. Vista, you bastard, you are deliberately showing off. Yozu, ha ha ha, already thinking about your next read? Hit like and keep exploring infinite novel.